Right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Anination Podcast. Thank you all for waiting for a while for us. We got to make sure our things are ready here before we get things started.
Yes, so grab on tight and get yourselves ready for a good listen.
Yeah, definitely. We've got a lot of things to discuss, especially when it comes to last weekend's Netflix's Tudum event. There was a lot of good things that came out of it that we were excited for. And it kind of gives me the question, is Netflix back? Which we'll answer in our episode tonight.
Yeah, so you're going to hear our answer to that question. But as always, whether or not you think Netflix is back in its prime, that's up to you.
I mean, again, we'll discuss this when we get to the episode. But yeah, we got a lot more things to discuss, plus a lot of news of animation as well. So hope you guys sit tight and relax. We'll be on here in a minute. So yeah, we'll see you guys there. Alright, hello everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of the Anination Podcast. My name is Nate, and Omid is right here.
What is up, Anination crew? I hope y'all are doing fantastic, and I just want to say Happy June to each and every single one of you, which means Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month, indeed.
Yes.
Whoever's celebrating Pride Month, celebrated your Pride.
Yeah, we just want to say to the LGBTQ plus community, Anination Podcast stands with you.
Oh yeah, we definitely stand with you, definitely for sure. But yeah, Pride Month is here. I've seen a lot of people representing Pride. I don't know if you saw Hasbro Hotel with their new merchandise for Pride, which is pretty awesome.
It's beautiful.
You've seen the characters do represent all the flags, right? Bisexual, lesbian and all.
Yeah, because Vivzy Pop definitely embraces LGBTQ plus themes and everything. I mean, they're incorporated into her shows. It's a core part of her shows.
I mean, you've seen Vaggie and Charlie together. Come on now.
Plus Bliss and Stolas.
Yeah, there's that too. Stuff. Exactly. Yeah. So if anything, LGBT's been represented worldwide and beloved so far. So yeah, represent your pride for Pride Month. But yeah, I have to say this as we're doing our whole catch up for this week. I got nothing much to say. I'm gonna talk about the Lilo & Stitch movie later on in our episode tonight. But we have this big box in our table tonight, and that is the Nintendo Switch 2. It came out yesterday. It's the reason why we didn't have an episode yesterday, because this guy was waiting outside of Best Buy to grab this thing.
It was worth the wait. I'm gonna say this right now. It was worth the wait. So what happened was that so I got to Union Landing. I got to Best Buy around 6 p.m. or so. I decided to do a little hour walk because
I was expecting people already lining up, right?
No, because by the time I got to Best Buy, there were only three people that were waiting.
I'm surprised about that. I thought people were just gonna be lining up quickly to get a Switch 2.
See, that was a pre-order line. Now, the in-store purchase line, on the other hand, was so long.
Yeah, because everybody wants to get a Switch 2. I remember seeing pictures on Facebook and Twitter, just every freaking Best Buy, every Walmart, Target, all lined up for the in-store purchases for Switch 2. It outstretches a lot.
It really does. And you can definitely see why there's so much hype for it, because it's been 8 years since we've had another new Nintendo console, and so it was definitely something that we've been waiting for, because as much as we love the Nintendo Switch 1, it has kind of hit its prime, and so we've been longing for a brand new system.
Mm-hmm. And you have currently played the system out. How is it so far?
Oh, it's beautiful. I'd say that it does everything that the Nintendo Switch 1 does, but does it even better. I'm talking about the screen size. I'm talking about the resolution, the quality.
Have you tried out the controls? Looks like, from what I saw, the controller can actually become like a mouse.
Now, the mouse control is the one thing which, surprisingly enough, I haven't tried yet. I've tried everything else but the mouse control.
Yeah, because I don't think you need a mouse control for the Mario Kart game. Because you're literally just, playing with,
controls and
controllers.
pads.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the beautiful thing about this is that it's the Switch 1 Pro Controller that I have owned for years is still compatible with...
Really? So old Switch consoles can actually work with the Switch 2? Like, all Switch portables, like the controllers and everything.
So my Switch 1 Pro Controller can work well with the Nintendo Switch 2.
But not the Joy-Cons?
I don't think I've tried the Switch 1 Joy-Cons.
I probably won't.
Because
I know that the two ones for the Nintendo Switch 2 is like really nice.
But it's such a huge sigh of relief. That means that I don't have to spend $80 to $90 on a Switch 2 Pro Controller. We could just play it with my Switch 1 Pro Controller.
That'd be great, because I want to play that up tonight after the show.
It saves me a lot of money.
So you only have Mario Kart. Any other games that were like in your radar when you were buying the Switch 2?
So the next Switch 2 game that I want to get doesn't come out till July, and that is Donkey Kong Bonanzana.
Mm-hmm.
But because of how pricey that the games themselves are, I'm trying my best to limit how many games of the Switch 2 I'm going to get.
Well, you mean you're going digital too, but digital is like cheaper as well.
Digital is slightly cheaper than physical copies, but digital games can be pricey as well themselves.
I mean, they're like $10 off the physical copy.
Yeah, but even so, it's just that with the Switch 1 game prices, they were at least relatively at a reasonable price, like around around $50 to $60 is a good enough price for a game. Not 80, not 90. So,
well, to be fair, our economy is like going up now. So I don't know what, but the Switch has pretty much stuck a. I don't know why they made the prices of like games going a little high. I mean, you've seen Xbox and PS5 go like to $60, $70 for games now. Now, Nintendo's outstretching it to 80 now. And I don't know if that's like the standard now for video games being this pricey.
I feel like it's going to make game purchasing much more harder, much more complicated, because you got all these different video game corporations trying to outprice the other.
Yes.
And it's going to all lead into one big ruin. You're not going to see as many people buy as many games because of the price tags. That's the problem. I'm kind of dreading. I've heard speculations about this, but I've heard the speculation that the newest Grand Theft Auto game is going to cost like triple digits.
$100. It's definitely going to be $100.
It's going to reach the triple digit mark.
Well, to be fair, it's been a long time coming for GTA fans, and if they go up to $100, you can understand why. Everybody would love to buy it because GTA fans are GTA fans, and they have waited long for a GTA game to come out again, and yeah, they'll spend that much. Like, honestly, they will spend that much to,
And honestly, more power to them. Even though I'm not a Grand Theft Auto fan myself, I say more power to those that are, going to spend money on the game. But I will advise that you save as much as possible. I'm going to say save up.
Or, find a better job. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'm currently looking for a job at the moment. So, yeah.
Yeah, and, so am I. But I'm currently looking for a full-time job too, so I feel it.
So this is the Switch 2. I see the box, by the way. It looks much smaller than the Switch that we had in the Switch 1. Because I remember it used to be like wider and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about this box being condensed in comparison to the Switch 1 box.
I don't mind, to be fair. I mean, it looks pretty, I don't know. You pretty much forgot the whole game. The game's gone, by the way, because Omi just like set it up on his TV now.
Yes.
So.
Like a happy little fanboy, I came up home. Set up my Switch 2 and then played blissfully.
Yeah. As for me, I don't see myself planning on buying the Switch 2 for a while. I'll probably visit your house forever now to get to play Switch 2 games.
Yeah, you can come by anytime and play.
But no, because the price is too high, and I am currently unemployed, I probably won't get a Switch 2 until probably next year, if anything.
Okay, yeah. That's totally fair. I remember when I got the Switch 1. When I got the Switch 1, you'd be surprised to know I didn't get it day one like I got Switch 2. I actually got it a year later.
I got the Switch 1 like during a couple weeks into the early times when it all came out, I remember still having the gray Switch with me, and I'm like, this Switch has been with me for years, and it's been running running well so far. So I still have a lot of Switch games to complete. So
yeah, I got a huge backlog.
Did you actually
myself.
check out the Switch One compatibility? Does it actually work on Switch One games?
So the Switch One, it does have backwards compatibility, so you can play Switch One games.
Have you tried it already with like a couple Switch One games?
I have, and they do run smoothly. I have heard that there are games that, like Super Mario Odyssey, for example, that run in slightly looking better graphics because, well, look at the console with Switch 2 versus the one with Switch 1.
Yeah. So, say for example, you put in like Super Mario Wonder, for example.
Yes, it will work well. There are most Switch 1 games that will work exceptionally well with Switch 2.
Okay, so do you see the graphics change when you put the first Super Mario Wonder game into the Switch 2?
I haven't tried out Super Mario Wonder specifically. I definitely want to give it a shot at it.
Yeah.
To compare the graphics.
What games did you actually try on Switch 1? Switch 1 games did you work on Switch 2?
I'm gonna say, I'll say like I've tried a bit of Super Mario Odyssey. I could see the slightly
Odyssey. Sorry, I thought Wonder. It was like Odyssey.
Whoops. Odyssey. Now with Super Mario Odyssey, there is like slightly better graphics, mainly because of the resolution translation, but it's still relatively the same Odyssey, just like with better graphics.
It's the game, but the different graphics. What matters is the graphics because it's now 4K, not 1080p.
Yeah.
Which, outdated, yes. 4K is the future now, so...
4K is the future. It's been the future for a long time, so
yeah,
we're still living in the 4K era.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be that for a long time, yes. Or 8K possibly will come out soon. I know PS5 is working on 8K, so. But no, I mean, Switch 2 is out. So if you guys already have the console,
yes,
good luck. If you don't have the console, good luck trying to get it. If you pre-ordered it, hope you enjoyed your Switch 2.
Yes, please comment below and let us know whether or not you pre-order the Switch 2. Do you plan on pre-ordering sometime soon? Let us know.
Yeah, that would be cool to see.
Yes.
So that's that. And then one thing for me that I discussed already is the Lilo and Stitch movie. So I watched it yesterday with Jess. We both agreed the whole controversy is reasonable, but for me, I think it's kind of overblown. Just to be fair, yes, there are some things that I kind of was pissed off when it comes to Lilo and Stitch, the live action series. First off,
same here.
Making Jumba being the villain. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it spoils for everybody. I'm very sorry. But then don't listen to this.
But again, chances are they've seen spoilers all across the internet anyway. So
okay, maybe. Okay, well, the controversy is right. The ending was the controversial part. Yes.
And I've seen the Lilo and Stitch remake, and I've been a lifelong Lilo and Stitch fan. I am a huge Lilo and Stitch fan. I've been a big fan of the franchise since I was a kid, all starting with the movie. I grew up with the series, some of the sequels, and the video games and the dolls and stuff like that. I even owned a Stitch themed pinball, little plaything.
Oh, I thought it was a pinball machine. I'm like, how'd you get a pinball machine, a Lilo and Stitch?
It's not a machine, but it's more like a small little.
If you actually had a machine, I was gonna ask, where did you keep it? Because I would want it.
I got it as a gift, but needless to say, when it comes to Lilo and Stitch, I just simply adore it for how it embraces weirdness and about how it embraces family themes and all combined together with sci-fi action. It's just awesome. Mm-hmm. And plus, Lilo and Stitch series is my Pokemon. Like Disney's, you can argue Lilo and Stitch series is Disney's take on Pokemon.
Because what? There's a lot of aliens that are in Hawaii. Okay, cool. But that's not Pokemon.
So I will say, upon seeing the trailer, I thought to myself, okay, it does seem like they're going the right direction in terms of these live action remakes. It could, it could live up to it. I was groaning at the idea of the Lilo and Stitch live action remake. I didn't want it to happen.
Oh, I remembered D23 when we saw the presentation. You were like, "Why?" No, you were groaning. No. You were like, "Ugh."
But I will say the 3D rendering of the Stitch, how Stitch looks in the actual movie looks adorable. Like they got the Stitch design all the way down to a T, pure gold. So when I watched the movie, I thought to myself, it was close to being decent, but then when you get to the third act, that's when everything goes flat.
Yeah,
that's when they lose it. They lost it. You were so close.
Although to be fair, like it all led up to it. Like if you saw the first and second act, you kind of saw like, oh, Nani's in trouble, and yeah, that third act was kind of unfortunate that it happened, but
yeah, and I will say, like, when it comes to the first two acts, there were some problems that I did have even with the first two acts. Like, what was the point of the neighbors, and also
that's true because they didn't have neighbors at all.
And plus, what they did to Cobra Bubbles is just straight up character assassination.
I think it sucks because like Cobra Bubbles was like a tough guy, CIA agent person.
He was a social worker.
Yes, and there was another social worker that was also in the movie. So,
yeah, which, fun fact, was actually played by the OG voice actress of Nani.
Yeah, it's her.
And while I do like that touch, I still don't like the idea of having a different social worker while Cobra Bubbles is just the alien hunter. We already have it with John Pleakley. So what's the point of having Cobra Bubbles being a full-on alien hunter?
Well, he wasn't really an alien hunter. He was just more of like a CIA agent who saw the ship and it's like alienized. Like an alien came down and that's why he started to get more obsessed with it.
No, but what was clever about how the original handled Cobra Bubbles' character is that you wonder what's the mystery behind him, because he's supposed to be the social worker that cares for Lilo and Nani, but when you look at him, he definitely looks like something else. He definitely looks like a tough guy, a full-on agent.
He wasn't really a tough guy. He was wearing Hawaiian shirts and stuff.
But then in the end, you kind of find out that in a clever way, they demonstrate that Cobra Bubbles, like at the end, they show with this interaction with the Grand Councilwoman at the end, they show about how he has worked with the Intergalactic Federation before as an agent. And I'm like,
wasn't that
that's
a clever thing twist. Also in the animated series, in the animated movie? I don't think it was, but
it was revealed in the animated movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're trying to at least get some comparisons with the animated movie with the live action.
But with the live action, they just straight up tell you from the get-go that he's an alien hunter, taking away the mysterious aspect of the character, which made him all the more interesting.
Well, he was a CIA agent, not like, social worker that was back in the animated series. So
like he was both. He was presumed to be like a social worker, and he was a social worker in the Lilo and Stitch animated counterpart. But anyway, so I will say that even with its faults and all, I will say they at least got the heart right. Like Lilo and Stitch, the chemistry between them is just genuine and so cute.
It's absolutely precious. Yes.
Like Lilo's voice actress nails it as Lilo. She is precious, adorable.
She's not a voice actress. She's actually the actress.
Like what I mean is like Lilo's live action actress.
The actress herself, like she's precious. Like she actually nails Lilo as an innocent child who's troubled, and it is true. Like in the beginning of the movie, you get to see like Lilo being troublesome. Like she goes through these crazy stuff. She even pushed down Myrtle, which, to be fair, like I wouldn't expect a fight in the animated series.
Bit of a downgrade in comparison to the animated.
You will not have 6-year-old kids beat each other up. Okay,
it's just
you cannot have it at all in a live action movie. Okay.
Okay, I will say you do have a point, but anyway, so the live action actress of Lilo, perfectly believable as Lilo. Like she nails it down to a T with the quirks and everything, and also. What I like is also the relationship between Lilo and Nani as well. I feel like
they're definitely sisters.
For the most part, they got Lilo and Nani's sisterly relationship down to a T. It is just all the more adorable and believable that they are sisters trying to go through the grieving, the tragic death of their parents.
Yeah.
And they have to learn how to like live with each other. Mm-hmm. Nani's struggling to take hold of her guardianship of Lilo.
Yep.
Like all those things, like the situations, they are still present in the live action remake.
It's so different this time around because, you never expect the whole guardianship thing becoming a huge thing in the live action series. I know it was also a thing in the animated series because Cobra Bubbles kept on like being there every day just to see how Nani's holding up with Lilo.
Yeah, in the animated movie, the animated movie had the heart of not just Lilo and Nani, but also the heart of Lilo and Stitch. I feel like the heart of family, the heart of Ohana, is still in the live action remake, although weakened in comparison to the original. But at least it was still there, which is why I say that while I don't like the remake for what it did in the third act, it kind of ruined the movie for me. I will say it is one of the lesser evils in terms of Disney live action remakes overall.
Yeah, if anything, this is a good live action remake for me. I think it's good because from the way I'm kind of looking at how the ending was, Like, yes, it wasn't really portrayed perfectly, but it kind of faces reality too. Like, Nani's struggling, so Lilo had to go through this thing. The other thing too is that Nani and Lilo still met up with each other. They're still sisters. They know how to still communicate with each other, even though Nani had to go far away and Lilo was back in Hawaii.
Which I did not like, and I will tell you why. The whole point of, the whole point of the movie, the whole point of Nani's character arc in Lilo and Stitch was so that she's trying hard to hold on to the guardianship of Lilo, which is how they ended up where they are in the first place in the original. I feel like the remake, with what they did by having Nani just go off to college while leaving Lilo with the care of the neighbors, really diminishes Ohana. It diminishes Lilo and Nani's sisterly relationship, which I liked, even the live action remake, but not nearly as much as the original. It diminished the quality of the film.
I feel
overall.
like they kind of touched the whole sister relationship more in the live action, right?
Like they did in they touched upon Lilo and Nani's relationship very well up until the third act.
Yeah, I know, but I'm looking back at it and I'm like, Nani is struggling. Like, what can she do? She can't really keep Lilo, and plus the social workers have been telling her, like, I think it's just better for her to go to a different family. And the thing is about the whole neighbor part, at least they're close by. And yeah, it kind of sucks because, like, the animated series never had neighbors, and now they did have neighbors.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you technically are living close. She's, with a family that's close by. It's David's family. I just feel like it was kind of okay-ish, but at the same time, you also do get to see the sisters still interact with each other, still hanging out with each other in the end. And I'm like, you still are a close family.
How they did it at the end, I know, and even if they're trying to go for a more realistic approach about how sometimes, relationship bonds can happen in far distance, they fail even at that with a contrived plot point, and that is the portal gun. Like, what was so pretty much, if you were trying to go for that, you fail even at that because Nani could just go back and forth with the portal gun anyway to see Lilo. So that's it. I feel it's a bit of a cop out if you're trying to go that angle. So they fail even at that.
Either way, the whole movie, again, we'll have our own, like, differing opinions when it comes to Lilo and Stitch. We might have to do another full-on review about it soonish. But then, again, I don't want to spoil too much. We kind of did. But, yeah, I mean, Lilo and Stitch, again, I thought it was all right.
I will say that while I don't hate it nearly as much as, like, most of the internet review, most of the cartoon community does, like, they treat it as like, oh, it's one of the worst movies ever. I'm just like, there are things that I do like about the Lilo and Stitch remake.
Also,
don't get me wrong, but yeah, I do agree. It's not a good movie, but it's not one of the worst either.
Also, another thing too is that there also is a lot of comparisons to the animated movie and the live action movie. I think the first act of the live action movie absolutely, like, put it on a T, like, really made it relative to a T on what happened in the animated series too. Like, the animated movie too. Like, oh, Grand Councilwoman sees Stitch, and then Stitch becomes like crazy. He even says that one word where every alien starts throwing up, oh, terrible, get him out of here. Yeah. And then he flies off with that red ship all the way to Hawaii.
Yeah. And speaking of Stitch, I will say they nailed Stitch perfectly, just as much as
because it's the same voice actor.
Just as perfectly as they nailed Lilo, they got Stitch down to a T.
Because it was the same voice actor. Come on.
It's the same voice actor. Chris Sanders still has it. Also, the 3D rendition of Stitch looks fluffy, looks adorable, looks accurate to the animated counterpart. Yes, I will say Lilo and Stitch, like, 100% gold.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, there's some good parts about the movie, some bad parts. I mean, not mostly bad. Yes, I can understand.
Mostly bad for me.
Okay, I say not mostly bad because, again, I could just see the comparisons between the animated movie and the movie, live action movie, and there are some similarities. They had to at least put some new stuff in there, which I think is questionable. But in the end, I still say it's a pretty good movie. Maybe not as good as Jungle Book, for example.
Oh, not nearly.
Yeah.
Like, I was awaiting the moment that we actually get a legitimately good live action remake since Jungle Book. I wanted to say this movie, as a huge Lilo and Stitch fan, it was close, but yet so far.
Well, thankfully there ain't gonna be any more, like, live action movies for Disney. They might do it too. They might do it for Lilo and Stitch. Who knows what alien will come out? Maybe that pink alien will be the next one.
Yes, I'm just like, like after this, I'm just like, please no more live action remakes.
Yeah, well, they said they scrapped Tangled, which is great. Now I'm
Yes.
kind of wondering what is next for Disney, and I'm hoping original content, sequels possibly. But again, Disney's plans are now more towards the parks. You can understand what they're doing. I saw this article recently where they're saying Walt Disney World is making through many changes right now, where it's gonna become a very like beautiful park after all of it. Like having Cars Land in Hollywood Studios, having an Encanto Land and an Indiana Jones Land and Animal Kingdom. So there's going to be some changes in the parks. I think they're mostly focused on that compared to like Disney Media at the moment.
Yeah, I think that Disney parks, because one thing that Disney continues to excel at continuously and consistently, it's the parks.
Yes, Disneyland is currently having its 70th anniversary.
In terms of media, not so much, but the parks you can't deny.
Yeah, I mean, other people are doing like, look, I don't really care about the whole media stuff. Disney TVA currently is kind of in a standstill right now. Again, we don't know what's going to be happening next, but Annecy is coming up next week. We'll discuss that at the end of the show tonight. But for right now, Lilo and Stitch live action, if it's going to be the last live action movies for a while, then I would say that it came out not obviously as like a home run or anything like that. It still came out as like a base hit. They at least make it like something reasonable. It's not like an out or anything like that.
No, it's more like when a batter hits the baseball bat and you think it's gonna be a home run, but then the opposing team actually catches a baseball,
so they're out.
So they're out.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
So
to me.
for you, it's an out. Okay, sure.
That's what it felt like to me.
Okay.
It's like the trailer had me deceived into thinking this was going to be a legit good one, and it was getting to that point. But like I said, because of its major problems that I had, like I said, it went from being, a potentially good film to just an overall bad film in general.
I still say it's a good film. Again, we'll both talk about that in our own times. But yes, if you guys haven't watched Lilo and Stitch, it's currently in theaters now. You could share your thoughts in the comments about your opinions on Lilo and Stitch, the animated, the live action movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, are we done? Let's go ready for our episode.
Yes. Let's not.
Because I want to play this guy's Switch too. That's why I'm kind of like, let's wrap it up if we can.
Let's move on.
I thought we were just doing a small discussion on Lilo and Stitch. It turned out to be like a 50-minute discussion.
I like to move on from talking about a disappointing remake.
You're the one who brings it up. I'm like, shut up. Let's move on.
Let's move on. Yeah.
Okay, let's go move on to our episode and actually talk about the quick news that we've got here in the lineup tonight. And the first thing we want to bring up is this particular series, Sesame Street. So I think you all know what's been going on with PBS and, Sesame Street being a part of PBS. Because PBS is being defunded, they have no idea where to actually put their new PBS's like animated series anywhere, but especially one of their most staple franchises, Sesame Street. So at the moment we were thinking like Sesame Street is going to be done. It's going to suck because it's been over 30 years or 40 years actually since Sesame Street came out. Luckily, they did find a suitor, and that was Netflix. So when you heard about that news that Netflix is picking up Sesame Street, what are your thoughts about that?
Thank you, Netflix. Thank you so much for saving Sesame Street. Sesame Street is an important piece of pop culture phenomenon that has been going on for decades and decades, and touching the hearts of children everywhere, as well as presenting important morals, not just ABC's 1, 2, 3s, but also about diversity, inclusion, kindness, and everything. It is just, yes, Sesame Street continues to live on. I couldn't be happier.
Well, to be fair, Sesame Street is more towards, the little kids, for like preschoolers and those young ones out there. And the lessons that they provide are all helpful for all preschoolers for sure. Like from counting the numbers to the alphabet to so much like other things that happen. There have been times where I've seen moments where like Elmo's mom was unemployed, where she lost her job. You've seen moments where like one of the Muppets turns out to be was it LGBT or something like that.
And also there was also one point where Sesame Street even touched upon death. Remember Mr. Hoover?
I don't know who Mr. Hoover is.
So he was one of the reoccurring actors of Sesame Street that was present. He passed away, and Sesame Street touched upon how when people die, then you'll still cherish the memories you have with them.
Yeah, so the thing is,
it touched upon grief.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, they do affect other things than just for kids, because like they'll have segments where like Elmo will talk to the kids and say, let's talk about the ABCs or 1, 2, 3s. And then you have segments of, you see Bert and Ernie doing their thing. You see Grover become Super Grover. Even the Count doing the counting 1, 2, 3, that kind of thing. Cookie Monster being crazy, and of course Big Bird doing the, being the life of the whole community of Sesame Street.
And what Sesame Street has my utmost respect for being a kids educational show that doesn't feel pandering at all. Like they're not afraid to tackle upon more serious subject matter and present it in a way to kids that feels comforting yet educational.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about Sesame Street. It's gone through a lot of things, because remember, PBS is the main streamer, it's the main spot for Sesame Street. But before, it was on HBO. It was available to stream on HBO. However, due to the HBO ending their deal with Sesame Street back in 2024, or December 2024, listen to Sesame Street, the Sesame Workshop finding a streaming service to call for their home. So HBO used to have streaming rights for Sesame Street, but then, of course, the whole whatever happened with HBO continued, and now you're kind of thinking, okay, what's going on with Sesame Street? What are your thoughts on the whole situation of HBO like cutting ties with Sesame Street?
HBO really dropped the ball in terms of cutting Sesame Street off. Like, Sesame Street is not only important to show to kids, it's actually very profitable because of the Sesame Street characters being timeless. So HBO really dropped the ball, and
HBO continues to ruin, I think, like everything on their franchise. Like, remember, they did lose NBA on TNT, which now is which is now inside the NBA on ABC now. So
what they did with Sesame Street is one of the many, many mistakes HBO has made.
Well, they have made so much and stuff. And again, you could talk about a certain David Zaslav about this whole situation. But like, I do remember, like, during the pandemic, I remember watching Max. And they did have like this whole talk show with Elmo. I don't know if you remember that.
They did, and I remember watching a clip here and there, but I don't think I've seen the actual talk show with Elmo.
Yeah, though the talk show with Elmo is just more of like, Elmo being the talk show host, and then you have like celebrities coming in. I know John Oliver was one of the guest stars, which I thought was really funny. What was it? I think that they had some ideas for HBO and Sesame Street to do some to do some extra stuff when it comes to Sesame Street, but I felt like HBO again just was weird about the whole Sesame Street thing, and in the end they end up dropping the deal, and I'm like, but you had it for a while and then you just dropped it. I don't understand the whole HBO deal with dropping Sesame Street, but it's just a messy situation.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it shows how Warner Bros. Continues to mess up more and more, and it's all due to poor leadership.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what's going on next with Warner Brothers, considering.
But HBO is the past. Let's talk about the present, which is Netflix.
Yeah, so Netflix at the moment. Well, here's the thing: like, their next season is gonna come out later this year. So wait, I want to get back on this. What is your fondest memories of Sesame Street growing up?
Yeah, so Sesame Street was the first show that I ever watched, and I've been a fan of it when I was a kid ever since. From the toys to the CD-ROM games, but. It is for good reason, because you can identify with the Sesame Street Muppet characters, because they feel like even the Sesame Street Muppet characters still feel like kids learning their way of the world, just like the kids are. So I've had fun memories of Sesame Street. I still love Sesame Street even to this day. But how about you?
I freaking will not remember anymore, because I'm now 30-something years old, and Sesame Street was back when I was 5 or 6 years old. Back then, I was into more Nickelodeon, Nick Jr. stuff, so I was into Blue's Clues, Dora the Explorer, Little Bear, Franklin. I don't know if you guys remember that, if you're old enough.
Blue's Clues was also another one I'll cherish in my heart.
Yeah, so those are like my preschool shows, but I do remember some Sesame Street stuff here and there. Like, I remember Big Bird becoming like a big thing. I was into Barney, by the way. Barney was also a PBS show, so y'all remember Barney?
Yeah, I never got into Barney. I was mainly Sesame Street.
I mean, Sesame Street ain't bad though, but like I just remember like I just remember the main crew. They had what was it, the Count. They had what is it, Bert and Ernie, Big Bird and Elmo and Cookie Monster and what's his name? Grover. Yeah, Grover in the trash can. That was the main crew I knew, and then there were added more and more characters, and then I was just like, who are they? Who are they? Who's this fairy? Who's this girl who has no sign language? Other
you're talking about...
Yes, her. Again,
she's actually an autistic Sesame Street.
Oh, she's autistic. Character. Okay. I don't know. I thought she actually was something. I didn't know she was autistic. My bad. Again, I lost sight of Sesame Street. I just know that like when I have kids, I'll probably get back into Sesame Street because it's gonna be affecting families as well. But I can understand the impact of how Sesame Street is. It looks like everybody knows about how Sesame Street is, and how it helps like kids grow up and all. So I love its goal of still doing that right now. And it's so glad to actually see that Sesame Street continues on Netflix. And now that they actually have to, what kind of sucks is that they actually have to buy Netflix in order for them to watch it now.
Yeah, but let's say that you aren't subscribed to Netflix. You can always catch the newest episodes on PBS. So what I like is that they air new episodes on Netflix and PBS.
Okay, so at least there's that. So PBS still is there, even though it's defunded. Yeah. But
well, not for long, because Netflix is going to. Netflix has to stream rights to Sesame Street, but Netflix is going to help Sesame Street be more exposed to children.
Which would be good. Yeah. I think like the whole thing is going to be on Netflix first before it goes on PBS, maybe that kind of thing.
Or they could appear at the same time.
Yeah. But either way, if you are a huge Sesame Street fan, some of you probably are not because you're probably older than the audience that it was intended to. But if you have a family member or a little kid that actually watches Sesame Street, well, it's on Netflix now. Don't worry, it's not canceled. It's on Netflix now. You can be able to watch it on Netflix later this year or on PBS, as it is still on PBS at the moment.
Yeah, so I am so happy to hear about this because this is a kind of television show I would expose to my kids. Like, I would show my kids Sesame Street because I want them to grow up kind and intelligent.
Indeed. All right, now, next piece of news that we've got here is the Zootopia 2 trailer that came out while we were having our vacation. Zootopia 2 dropped their new trailer. As you can see in the trailer, it was Nick and Judy going around holding onto their new snake companion named Gary the Snake, voiced by Ke Kwan, while being chased by other police officers. They go through so much stuff: water, snowland, jungle, safaris, which gives you the potential places of the duo of these like folks going together in the sequel. So the trailer... Honestly, when I saw the trailer, I was confused because I think it was a teaser trailer, right? It was just a teaser because like I just remember seeing like hamsters going in front of a keyboard, like setting up the whole trailer, and then I see Judy and Nick doing their stuff with this snake, and then you also see the characters that will also be coming back as well.
Yeah, so including Bellwether, including Clawhauser, including Chief Bogo, all that stuff. So there are characters old and new that are going to be in this movie. And I'm going to say, from the way that this teaser trailer presented Zootopia 2, I feel like it did its job fine because it gave away, how do I put it? It gave so much of who's going to be in the movie and where it's going to take place without giving too much away.
Well, okay, so when I look back at D23, we did get a little glimpse of like where they're gonna go to into this like swampland area where you get to see like all these reptiles to say. So you get to see lizards, you get to see snakes. That was only like one scene. Again, that was just one scene that we saw in D23, and then also even at the Walt Disney Animation Studio booth, we even get pictures of like the whole environment.
But even with that swamp lake area, you sort of wonder how much of the movie is going to take place in that area.
Well, I was thinking it would be there, actually. Because, like, say, for example, a crime is happening. And then Bogo pretty much tells Nick and Judy to go over there and investigate a murder or something that happened over there in that area. And that's what they do. So...
Yeah, but even with all that, you still sort of guess, or you leave yourself waiting to find out, like, what the movie is going to be, where the movie's going to take place exactly, how big of a role are the supporting characters going to have, and also what's the deal with the new characters, including the snake?
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about that as well. The snake definitely is a new character. Who is he? Is he a villain? Is he like a villain disguise or something? But again, there's not really much to reveal here. It just tells me this is how the adventure will go, but we're not going to tell you much, which is fine. I mean, it doesn't tell me much. It's just good because, like, I don't want to be like given the whole movie already out in a trailer.
Yeah, no. it goes back to what I was saying about this teaser trailer doing a very serviceable job of doing so. It tells you where the movie's going to take place, who's going to be in the movie, without explicitly giving it away.
So our first movie, look, the Zootopia movie has been made like many years ago, and to be fair, some things have held up since then.
Yes.
So the movie has been great for the first movie. Now that we've seen Walt Disney Animation Studio release sequels in theaters before, especially Ralph Breaks the Internet, Frozen 2, Moana 2, all of them end up becoming worse than their counterparts. Do you feel like this may not be as successful than the first movie?
I'm going to say it might be the same case here, because when you look at Zootopia 1, it's actually a very powerful movie with a very deep message about prejudice, which is why Zootopia is one of my top favorite Disney movies ever, because of the message and also how they portray each and every single anthropomorphic animal in the movie is so creative. But it's really the message that really strengthens the movie. And I feel like with Zootopia 2, how are they going to follow up with a movie that is anti-prejudice? How are they going to present the message of prejudice in this movie?
I don't even know if there's even going to be showing prejudice. It's just more towards like a crime from the way I'm seeing it. Unless they actually like give a twist saying like, oh, it's going to be just like what happened in 1, where like, oh, the prey will fight against the predators, you know?
Yeah, but I don't think that it'll be as strong as Zootopia 1. Not to say that Zootopia 2 is going to be bad or anything, but it's hard to compete with Zootopia 1 based on the qualities I just presented.
Yeah, but I do have hope when it comes to Zootopia 2. I mean, we've been waiting a long time for a sequel for Zootopia 2, and who knows, this may help Disney out in making next sequels or anything like that. Because, you know, they have been a hit or miss when it comes to sequels. I know Moana 2 was definitely a bust, for sure.
Yeah.
But remember, they have other sequels in the lineup. Frozen 3, that's coming out in many years to come.
Yeah, Frozen 3, I'm hoping that it'll be better than Frozen 2 for sure, because Frozen 2 was mediocre, but Frozen 3, I'm hoping there'll be something epic.
Yeah, well, you saw the post in D23. There was like this poster that had what's going on, you know?
There was this poster, but then there are also, I remember there was at one point where it gave you all these questions like, you know, what happened to this character? Where's this character now? And it was a clever way of leaving us second guessing what's going to happen in the third movie, because these are questions we have for the movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, to be fair, Frozen 3 is going to be out for like, 2 or 3 years later, so we're not going to discuss that any longer, okay? But Zootopia 2 is coming out in November. I have a feeling that it's going to be pretty good. I believe there will be more trailers coming out for Zootopia 2. This was just a teaser, and honestly, I think it's a good way to actually tease us, to tell us who's going to be in the movie, what's the plot going to be about. When the first trailer comes out, I would imagine the story will be more revealed. So, but we'll see. I'm glad to see Judy back. I glad to see Nick back. Clawhauser, Bogo, even Shakira, she's back.
Flash, 100-yard dash.
Huh?
Flash, 100-yard dash.
Dash, you freaking sloth.
The sloth, yes. I want to see that guy back. He was funny as hell.
Oh, God, sloth.
The sloth, yeah.
All right, well, either way, if you're a big fan of Zootopia 2, it's coming out November 26th. Mark your calendars for the movie coming out then.
Let's go.
All right, so this next upcoming news we got coming up is our results of what's happened. A couple episodes back, we were talking about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards, and now the Anime Awards came out in Memorial Day weekend. It's time for us to discuss the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Whee! Woohoo! Anime Awards! Yay! Yeah, we're all kind of like, something about this. Now, during Memorial Day weekend, you know, me and Omid were doing our own thing. You went to Hawaii, I went to F-Anime. But the Anime Awards happened where they had celebrity stars, guests who love anime, such as Finn Wolfhard, Gaten Matazaru. Finn Wolfhard was there? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so Finn and Gaten are both Mike and Dustin's from Stranger Things.
Yeah, they're from Stranger Things. I just realized they were from Stranger Things. Really, they were there. Huh.
And based on the series that they were in and based on the characters they play, they would be the type that would be into anime.
Yeah, from the way I'm seeing it, yeah. Look, younger folks are currently getting into anime, and I appreciate that. That's great. You had Chloe Kim. I can make sense. She's an Olympic star. Love viewing anime. That's fine with me. And, of course, we also do get Giguk, a.k.a. Garnt.
No surprises there, by the way. No surprises there.
Oh, man. Yeah, you know, he's a huge anime weeb and stuff. You also forgot some names. Iron Mouse was also there, too. You know, VTuber Iron Mouse was also there.
Yeah, there were, needless to say, I wanted to present like a few case examples, and I feel like those are one of the many interesting cases.
Yeah, there's a lot of celebrities that were there. I just remember last year they had Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion was also another one.
Oh, there? Was she there?
I don't think I remember seeing Megan Thee Stallion, but I do remember she was there.
She was there last year. She was there last year presenting Anime of the Year. Yes.
But I didn't watch like the entirety of the Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
It's fine. It's freaking 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning since it started.
But one thing I did catch is the Flow band performance.
Oh, of course you would love to see.
Flow performed Days as well.
Flow performed. Creepy Nuts performed as well. I mean, come on, you gotta have those people. I mean, Flow made sense, and I love the fact that they actually performed like great songs there. They performed Days from Eureka 7. I'm like, thank you. Thank you for performing that. Nobody fucking knows it anymore.
It was worth staying up late for. It makes me glad that I stayed up late for the Crunchyroll Anime Awards to watch Flow play. I was like, yes! My favorite J-Rock band.
Did they actually... I know they performed Days. Did they perform Colors too?
Unfortunately, they did not. Which is why I deducted -1 point for not playing Colors.
Come on. Yo, you're Chibuo.
Chibuo will always be the highlight of Flow to me.
They should have put Go, right? Did they at least... did they actually perform Go, though?
The only song that I heard them perform in the Crunchyroll Anime Awards was Days.
Thank God. At least they performed Days. I remember Giguk was like loving that. I was like, oh my God, Days. Yes, Eureka 7. Yes.
Yeah.
So... yeah, that turned out to be quite late. Honestly, I was at Fanime. You were back at home. My thing was like, I ain't gonna stay up all night watching this whole anime award. So I was like, just checking off what we got right, what we got wrong, because we are gonna show you our results of what happened. But yeah, the anime awards itself, I must say, they kind of favored one anime in this whole show.
Of course they would. The problem with Crunchyroll Anime Awards is that they tend to be biased towards a hyped up or favorable anime. Last year it was Jujutsu Kaisen. This year it was, well, you can go ahead and show it.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and show it so you guys will see. But anyways, let's go ahead and go through the results of what happened here. So, oops. Oh my God, get over here, you. There we go. I'm gonna put my little window here to make sure we got it. How is there 2 mice now? Oh my gosh. Oh.
Mouse work with
this doesn't perform. This is again, my computer doesn't perform well for some reason. Okay, and now I'm gonna show it to you guys. Actually, hold on for a second.
It's interesting, so keep your eyes peeled for it.
So screen capture. We'll have to do it over yonder. Is it here now? Oops. Let me. Oh no, where'd it go? It's the 4K cam. That's us. It's the webcam. The screen capture is supposed to be the one there. Hold on. Okay, it's not even showing it anymore. That's it. Oh my God, why is it not showing me this anymore? No.
Work with us.
It's not really, actually, let me see if we can capture the entire screen maybe? Capture window was supposed to be this. Hold on. Not a game. Sorry, hold on for a sec. And now it's not giving me Chrome. Hold on, let me see if I can add a source here. Window capture, there we go. Which one is this? Not 2. Where are you? Where the heck are you? That is not working out for some reason. It's not letting me, it's not letting me do it. It's not letting me show it for some reason. Window capture.
I mean, if it doesn't show, we can at least, like, say out loud, which one for which category.
Like the Chrome, Google Chrome is not actually working. Let me see if I can do it on. Let me see if I can do it with Firefox. Later. No. Ooh. Emmy Awards. It's slow as well. Oh, it's blocking. Okay, I got you. There we go. It's blocked. Hold on. Just give me the whole thing. Just trust it. It's not letting me do it either. What the hell? This is why I go to Chrome to make it a little bit easier, but Chrome is not working with me at the moment.
Dang.
I'm on my settings.
We apologize for technical difficulties.
Yeah, apologize for that. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Maybe that might work better. Oh, here we go. Finally, there it is. Okay,
Yes.
Sorry about that, everybody. So yeah, let's actually go ahead and get started with our winners here. So, Omi, you actually got correct with this one. With the best voice acting performance was in Japanese with Ayuki.
Yes, one of the best female anime characters ever, Mao Mao.
So Mao Mao was the winner on that one. We'll go.
Mao Mao was waifu material to me.
Yeah. Next up was this best ending sequence was Request by Soul Leveling. To be fair, my end again, I was kind of random when it comes to the endings, but we did vote for I voted for nobody. Oh, actually no, I voted for Taidara. Yeah, from what was it, Dandaran?
I voted for Burning.
Oh, from Oshinoko?
I voted for Burning from Oshinoko.
Yeah, we both lost on that one, unfortunately. Then the next one we've got here was best opening sequence, and that was Otonoke. We both actually picked that one.
Yes.
Correct.
100% deserved. 100% deserved.
Thank God.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows about that song, so. Next up, we had the best score, which was for Solo Leveling. So you get to see the trend, right? That Solo Leveling is kind of winning everything.
Just like a certain anime last year, just like JJK.
Yeah, so
And this is why I don't like the way Crunchyroll Anime Awards are being presented, because it goes back to what I was saying about they tend to favor hype over quality. Not saying Soul Leveling is bad or anything, but I'm saying that Crunchyroll Anime Awards tends to have a bias problem.
Yeah. Well, best anime song, we picked Otonoke was actually the song. And I was thinking, like, if you have opening and ending sequences, why a song? Like, is it overall best song or something? Like,
I think it could be, because notice how it doesn't say opening sequence.
doesn't even say opening or ending. It's like best anime song. It could be like a freaking OST song, like the Kill la Kill, Don't Lose Your Way song. It could also be a part of that.
It's more like if you could jam to any of these anime songs, what would it be? Personally, I say Otonoke. Personally,
yeah, I say Otonoke. I think we picked that one as well. I have to look at the results of what we had. The next one we had was best protected at all costs character, and that was Anya Forger. She just keeps on winning every year. I wanted to pick someone different. I had picked Okarun from Dandadan, and that didn't win. But Anya won, and I'm like, you're gonna win, aren't you?
Anya, let's go.
Yeah, we gotta bring her out actually for that. Just because she's
Congratulations to our favorite peanut, Anya, for her win.
Yeah, they also got her like figure out here too. I think that's the only Spy Family win, by the way, for this year's Crunchyroll Expo, Crunchyroll Awards.
I am surprised to find that Spy X Family didn't win as much as I thought.
I don't know if it was a really weak season or just the movie was the one that kind of like was the peak of everything, honestly. Next up, we also do. Oops. Okay. Next up, we have our best supporting character, and thank God that I actually got this correct. It was Fern from Free Red.
Yeah, it was best supporting character.
Great. Also, to be fair, like I was thinking Himmel will also be there as well, but like Fern
down.
was precious. What?
I actually want to see why I voted for her. Hang on one second.
Wait, what did you say?
I want to see why I voted for her.
You
I wanted Seiko. I wanted Seiko.
You wanted Seiko? I thought you wanted Turbo Granny. Oh no, Seiko, the grandma. Yeah.
Sexy grandma.
Yeah, but she didn't win. It was Fern. And to be fair, Fern is amazing. Watch Free Ren, by the way, everybody.
I can see why Fern won, though. She is an outstanding character in Free Ren. Then again, all characters are.
Then we go to the best protagonist, best main character, and that's Sun Jin Woo from Solo Leveling, and
of course, the bias.
I guess.
The bias is real.
I guessed, honestly, to be fair, Solo Leveling, again, great character, but there's other characters that are also great too, like Momo and Free Ren. Like,
what about Mao Mao?
Mao was in there too, yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, any of those two would have been great, but I don't know. I mean, Sun Jin Woo, yes, but again,
I'd have to see the series to determine for myself, but from what I've seen, like, I'll be surprised if I end up loving Solo Leveling as much as Dun, but I'm just like, something tells me it's just a hype.
Yeah. Best Slice of Life anime went to Makin. Thank God. Look, by the way, I don't know if you saw the whole the whole announcement speech or something, but I remember the person who made it or somebody who worked on it was absolutely happy that Makin ended up actually winning Best Slice of Life.
Yes, I am so happy because Makin is one of my favorite anime of last year. I adored so much.
Makin was really good. Yes, Makin was a really good anime.
it's a clever subversion of the romantic comedy trope.
Yeah, but I think again, it wasn't that bad. I actually loved it. That's why I also voted for it as well. Yeah. So there's that. Best director went to Free Ren. Oh, best drama went to Free Ren. Yes, makes sense. I actually adored Free Ren a lot. So good.
Free Ren does excel the drama, so I do see why it won.
Did you pick something else? You said you put Oshinoko, right?
I put Oshinoko, though.
And that didn't win. Actually, didn't win anything.
I don't know. What can I say? Like, because the drama with Oshinoko really hit me deep, especially considering how they elevated the drama aspects of season 2, like as opposed to season 1. Season 1 was emotionally raw, heavy, emotional. Season 2 puts it tenfold.
All right. Next up is Best Isekai Anime, and that went to ReZero. And come on, ReZero ends up winning that one. That kind of makes sense if it ever can load. By the way, best girl, right? So we got, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. We end up getting Anya and Rem out of all places.
Yeah, I'll go down for a sec.
What? You picked Konosuba, right?
I picked Konosuba.
Yeah, you picked Konosuba, but ReZero ended up taking the cake because it deserved it.
Konosuba is one of my favorite anime comedies ever. It's just,
it's a comedy, but not isekai. It's isekai too, but like if you're gonna be making it more for the comedy side, that's different.
It's pure isekai comedy gold. I can't help but adore Konosuba.
That's next. Best action was Solo Leveling. Again, Solo Leveling looks like it's trying to take the cake. I don't know if you guys are wondering what the trend is, but Solo Leveling is currently like getting everything, right?
Yeah, seriously. Like, you might as well call it the Solo Leveling Awards.
Yeah, for this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so Solo Leveling won Best Action. Let's move on to the next one. Best Comedy went to Mashal.
Lame Bamba.
You can't do Shika Noko 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 Koshtantano. Y'all don't care about a deer girl?
I don't know. They prefer the Rain Bamba.
To be fair, Mashal was funny. Absolutely funny. I loved it also. But like, I wanted to give some take for Shika Noko Noko. Because the deer girl didn't get much nominations. I think she deserved it. It's hilarious as fuck.
I haven't seen Mashal. I've seen Delicious in Dungeon, Konosuba, and My Dear Friend Nokotan. They're all really hilarious. Also, Rama 1.5. I think the only one obvious I haven't seen is Mashal. I've seen the rest of them.
Mashal is so good. I don't know. You're losing on a lot of animes, dude.
Not really, because I mentioned how I watched 5 out of 6 of them, so not really a lot. But
okay, so this one came out of nowhere, but the winner of Best Romance was Blue Box, and it's a Netflix anime, actually. It was actually streamed on Netflix, and I was thinking, like, okay, there's a shot. Netflix actually has chances to win Anime of the Year.
Yeah, but, and lo and behold, Blue Box won, but I'll be real with you, I voted for Makin.
Makin is more of a slice of life for sure. Because there's already much romances in it.
Like, Makin, there is romance, but the subversion of the typical romance cliche.
It's not the typical romance. It's more of like slice of life for sure.
And see, that's why I adore Makin so much, is because it makes it a unique series. The way that they incorporate, they subvert the romance genre, I think is what makes Machina special to me.
Dangerous in My Heart Season 2 was absolutely great. I thought that would win. What's kind of funny, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off was also nominated too, and I'm like, I don't think that's the romance.
I mean, Scott Pilgrim is a sort of a unique take on romance, but it shows the dangers of romance in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. All right, best background art went to Free Ren, and I picked that one. Thank you, Free Ren. I'm telling you, Free Ren has just been so good.
I will say that there's a reason why Free Ren won for background art. When you look
it looked beautiful. Like, if you watch the freaking anime, it looks beautiful with the background.
I have watched the anime, and I can agree 100%. The background art looks amazing. In fact, the whole animation, the art, breathtaking, 10 out of 10.
Best director went to Keiichiro Saito for Free Ren as well. And when I heard about Free Ren winning best director, it kind of makes me think anime of the year, right? Because usually it happens that way. Director wins best award. You've seen it before in the Oscars, for example. Best director ends up winning the coveted best picture.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always the case, but it is a sign that best director might lead up to it winning the big, prize, the big trophy.
Yes. All right, next one goes to best character design, and that went to Dandadan. Yeah. Although, to be fair, like, I don't know who I picked, but Dandadan, I guess it deserves it, to be fair. The characters are absolutely great, especially the demon forms of them. You've seen Okarun turn into this demon form, and it looks really great.
What I like about the art style of Dandadan is how experimental it is. It's very experimental because it does a lot of different animation styles, and they can be very fluent when the animation style requires it to be.
Best animation went to Demon Slayer, and undoubtedly I say yes, because the animation, I don't know what, but like when it comes to animations for anime, Demon Slayer takes it. Like, it's the top. It's one of the top.
Demon Slayer, Ufotable always nails it with the animation of Demon Slayer.
But you have other anime that were also competing for best animation, like Dandadan, for example, Delicious in Dungeon. Like, these are great animation companies, but I don't know what. Ufotable just continues to like rock it when it comes to Demon Slayer, just how great it looks and everything.
As much as I like Science Saru and Trigger, Ufotable manages to bring out the most fluent and cleanest animation.
Oh yeah, indeed. All right, next up, we also do have best original anime, and this one was absolutely questionable. Everyone was saying there would be something else, but it ended up being Ninja Kamui. And to be fair, a lot of people have been saying, I think everybody disagreed with this, because Ninja Kamui started off good and then it just dipped. The other animes that were there also had a great shot of becoming like best original anime, like Jellyfish Can Swim the Night, Girls Band Cry. Girls Band Cry was absolutely great. That could have won. But no, and everybody said Ninja Kamui won. Everybody was saying, like, what the hell?
Yeah, I will say, out of all the anime that I've seen here, I've only watched Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, and it is really underrated.
Like, even Train to the End of the World was also a really great anime, but, like, God, Girls Band Cry has just... This is their only shot at actually winning an award, and they blew it. And then, again, it's Crunchyroll Anime Awards being stupid again. I don't know what. Ninja Kamui sucks.
I kind of feel bad for not watching Girls Band Cry yet. Sort of like a betrayal as a One Piece fan, how One Piece did toy animation. I'm just like, okay, if I've seen One Piece, I gotta see Girls Band Cry. Give love to toy animation. Give love to toy animation.
Girls Band Cry is pretty good. All right, next up, best new series. That went to Solo Leveling. Okay, Solo Leveling new series. Could have just given it to, Dandadan, because I was thinking that would win our free run.
Yeah, best new series. I think I voted for Dandadan in this one.
Best continuing series went to Demon Slayer, which I agree upon. Best continuing series, Demon Slayer hopping from Hashira training arc to the Infinity Castle arc. Oh yeah, I voted for Demon Slayer, and it made sense why. Thank you everybody who voted for Demon Slayer, because it deserved it. I know One Piece is there, Bleach is there, My Hero Academia is there, but like, if Demon Slayer is going to end and it's going to be Infinity Castle, I had to go vote for that as best continuing series.
For me, it was a toss-up between Oshinoko Season 2, because of how they perfectly enhance the drama, the stakes, and the emotional moments tenfold, even more so than season 1, continue the character arcs beautifully. That versus Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood War, which has been the best Bleach arc I've seen since the Soul Society arc, which has been, years.
2000s.
Yes. Bleach is back and is better than ever before, and that's why I wanted to vote for Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War, because it made me a Bleach fan again. But then again, Oshinoko, I feel like quality-wise, it still holds up better.
All right, now we're going to the final 2 awards of the night, and the best movie was Look Back. Our film of the year was Look Back, and I voted for that. And even though it was only like 55 minutes long, it hurt my freaking soul watching it. I'm like, dude, this is good.
Like, I won't deny, Look Back is solid, but the problem is the film's runtime.
Okay, who cares about the runtime?
It could have always been an hour.
The impact of the freaking film is what matters, because like it reflected back to the KyoAni thing that happened.
I know it did, and of course, no disrespect to KyoAni, no disrespect to this movie, but I voted for The Colors Within instead. The Colors Within is also a beautiful movie.
I was thinking Spy Family would actually win, because there were a lot of Spy Family fans that love Ko White. So
see, it would have contributed to the obvious problem Crunchyroll Anime Awards has. Mm-hmm. So if they went with Ko White, it would have further emphasized how Crunchyroll tends to go for bias instead of quality.
But yeah, Look Back was absolutely great. It's on Amazon Prime Video, so if you want to watch that movie, watch it there. Again, you will be treated to a great movie for sure. And thank you, Crunchyroll Awards, for actually knowing about Look Back and just, making it awesome. So, yeah. Remember, it's the guy who made Chainsaw Man. The guy made Chainsaw Man made this movie, and dear God, it was so good.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man, and that already is a massively good sign.
Okay, now last but not least, let's talk about the anime of the year, and it was kind of obvious who won. It was Solo Leveling.
Oh, look, it's Crunchyroll's favorite anime of the year, Solo Leveling.
Yeah,
not our
Solo
favorite,
Leveling
Crunchyroll's favorite.
Let's bring back our picture. Hold on for a sec. This is where we can screen capture back. Sorry. Was it window capture? Sorry. Damn it. What was it called? Oh, here we go. Sorry. It was this one here. There we go. This is where we're going to talk about our anime of the year. Solo Leveling.
Not.
Okay, so... Okay, look at the other nominations that were also there too. Dandadan, Dungeons & Dungeon, Free Ren, Kaiju Number 8, Solo Leveling, Apothecary Diaries. I watched Solo Leveling. I like it. Season 2. Season 1 was the one that was nominated. And I'm like, it turned out to be okay. Then Season 2 started coming up and it now became hype. Like, oh my god, so much action scenes. So many great things are happening in Season 2. Is this the reason why people were voting for Solo Leveling because of that?
I know, and I haven't seen Solo Leveling, so I can't really judge on it, but I was surprised to find out that neither Dandadan nor Free Ren won, because I've heard more hype for Dandadan and Free Ren than I have for Solo Leveling personally.
Yeah, I was not happy with the Solo Leveling winning. Again, Free Ren got robbed, honestly. Because, like, Free Ren was just absolutely the peak, like, anime of the year. Everything of that anime was just all good.
Dandadan got robbed.
No.
It was theirs to win.
Dandadan has more seasons. Free Ren has more seasons too, but Free Ren was just made perfectly. Dandadan, it'll get better. And then
Dandadan is peak as well. They're both peak.
They're not peak.
Both of them are peak.
Dandadan's not peak. There are more peak moments happening in Dandadan later. Read the freaking manga. There are gonna be more things happening better for Dandadan's chances. So next Crunchyroll Anime Awards, I'll have a chance Dandadan will probably have that choice to become the anime of the year.
And I'll be rooting for it then.
Because it's coming out in the summer, okay? So
unless Crunchyroll decides to go biased and be like, oh, the winner is...
Okay, Free Ren's not making the next season for a while. Who knows?
Yeah.
Also, Poundy is talking best comedy. I'm just saying it right now.
PSG! PSG hype, let's go! PSG hype! Yes!
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you were going to do Crunchyroll for next year, I'm pretty sure Poundy Stock will be best comedy. So...
And I'll be voting for it for best comedy, because, yes... I am happy that PSG is coming back.
Yeah, so again, I love Solo Leveling. Again, I don't think it deserves the anime of the year if we were going to be voting it for Season 1. Season 2, yes, makes sense. But I think, if anything, next year, if Solo Leveling gets nominated next year again for best anime of the year, then that's my chance to actually vote for it. I don't think it would deserve the chance Frieren got robbed. I believe Frieren got robbed for sure. Because Frieren was absolutely a great anime.
Both Frieren and Dandadan got robbed. I'll say both of them got robbed.
But no. Frieren definitely got robbed.
And also Apothecary Diaries. Apothecary Diaries got robbed as well.
Yeah. All right. So, if you haven't been, we did an episode before about the Crunchyroll Anime Awards and our predictions. We did make our predictions known. So this is how our results look like, by the way. Omi, this is your results, and well, can you explain what happened there?
Womp womp. I guess you could say that the odds were not in my favor, like, at all. I didn't even get 5 right. I got, like, freaking 4. Are you kidding me?
4 right. You picked best background art Apothecary Diaries, that lost. Best romance was McCann, lost. Best director was Demon. You put a lot of Demon Slayer there, actually. And I thought you said it wasn't that great of a season.
It wasn't that great of a season, but I will say that in terms of the aesthetics and everything, they really nailed the aesthetics down to a T.
Yeah, but again, they didn't win. They ended up winning Best Continuing Series, unfortunately. Best Animation.
Yeah, it goes back to saying, like, it's a matter of bad luck. They're just, like, for the most part, where Crunchyroll and I don't really see eye to eye.
Yeah,
but
it seemed like you do eye to eye. Also, you were absolutely banking on Oshinoko, but they didn't win anything. It didn't win anything this year.
I was counting on Oshinoko to win at least one award because Season 2 is even better than Season 1.
Oh, that's saying something.
Even better than Season 1.
Really?
Yes.
I would say otherwise.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Oshinoko Season 2 actually has them doing, the actual theatrical production. Plus, I like the conflict.
Season 1 was, I think, a little bit better just because more drama came in.
More drama came in Season 2, bro.
I don't know about that.
And it puts more emphasis on the entertainment industry than Season 1 did. Season 1 is great and all, but Season 2 is, like, masterful.
Yeah, again, I didn't really vote for anything for Oshinoko this year. But no, they didn't win anything, which kind of tells me, like, it was a bad year for Oshinoko. Maybe next year when Oshinoko Season 3 comes out.
And I may or may not be voting for that. Either that or Dandadan, who knows? But yeah.
Again, we don't know how the predictions are going to be for the next Crunchyroll Anime Awards.
But we know the Crunchyroll Anime Awards is going to be biased towards one particular anime. So that's all I know.
Not Frieren.
It's going to be biased.
Not Frieren. I don't know if Frieren is even making new episodes for this.
We'll have to wait and see on that.
And then last but not least, my votes. Oh, I dominated, baby. Who knows anime more than me? Yeah.
I mean, you didn't get much either.
I didn't get much either, but I ended up getting 5, 6, 7, 9
You got more than me.
Look. Again, we didn't know it was going to be a solo leveling. I didn't even vote anything solo leveling, honestly.
Neither did I. I didn't think.
Because I was thinking it was just more Dandadan and Frieren that was going to win it all. Demon Slayer, you know me, I'm a big Demon Slayer fan. I cosplay Demon Slayer too. And again, I had my takes on the best of the genres, like the best comedy, best action, best isekai, and all. And they all look. I thought they were all reasonable, but again, Solo Leveling continued to take most of it. I mean, best action for Dandadan, I thought that would win, but Solo Leveling won that one. Opening, ending. I put a lot of Dandadan, by the way, in the best opening and ending sequence.
You put a whole lot of. I'm surprised you put more Dandadan than I did.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that too.
Yeah.
My thing is, like, at least Dandadan wins some things, and then I put Frieren as the top award for Anime of the Year, but that didn't win. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I put some Dandadan, some Frieren, some Apothecary Diaries, some Oshinoko. I was banking hard on Dandadan to win the top prize, though.
Yeah. So overall, Crunchyroll Anime Awards, continues to tick us off a lot.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Crunchyroll. I mean, the award ceremonies were decent, but it's just that when it comes to presenting the winners, not so much.
The winners continues to be biased and stuff. Again, I don't know who's in the judges. I don't know who the judges are, but the judges are BS to me.
They're biased.
Again, it is biased, I think, honestly, because like Crunchyroll is obviously going to go for Crunchyroll winners, and I'm like, no. That's the reason why JJK won last year. Again, I remember back in the first Crunchyroll Anime Awards, Yuri on Ice won, and look what happened to Yuri on Ice then. There's no other Yuri on Ice. It kind of died after that year, so... While other animes continue to do well, like Demon Slayer did win Anime of the Year 1 year, Jujutsu Kaisen won 2 Anime of the Years. Attack on Titan won Anime of the Year. Look at it now. Anime Attack on Titan was so good.
Yeah, I haven't seen all of Attack on Titan, but I've heard the hype about it.
Last one, and then now you're telling me that what was it? Solo Leveling is going to do well, and who knows? It's going to go well. It is looking for more seasons, knowing the way that I'm seeing Solo Leveling. So Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
What we do know is that it'll be a mixture of new anime and continuing anime that happens in each and every Crunchyroll Anime Award of the Year winner. So yeah.
So again, we'll have to wait and see what the next. We'll have to see we'll see what happens next on the next Crunchyroll Anime Awards, but I'm pretty sure it might go biased again. And again, we're going to complain about it next year. We'll see. The next award show we're going to be talking about is Nick's Kids Choice Awards. That's going to be something to talk about, huh?
Yeah.
Cool. Who's the best animated show?
Yeah. Gee, I wonder who.
I wonder who. I mean, Loud House got nominated this year.
Honestly, I kind of don't want to talk about Kids' Choice Awards because
look, we got to do it eventually. We got to at least bring up a segment about us talking about KCAs.
If you think that Crunchyroll Anime Awards is biased, let me tell you, it is relatively fair in comparison to Kids' Choice Awards. Kids' Choice Awards was all SpongeBob.
I mean, it's all SpongeBob, but again, who knows? Maybe something will come out of the park and actually beat him, but, it's all going to be SpongeBob winning the best animated feature.
I've lost interest in Kids' Choice Awards years ago, to be honest.
I know. I lost interest, too, but then, there's some fans who still want to see Loud House win, which will probably not happen, so...
Yeah, it's like a 0.1% chance.
Also, like, other Nicktoons never have a chance. I know Avatar won one year, but that's it. Everything else is just all SpongeBob, so...
Yeah, so that's why I'm kind of a bit turned off by it.
Who knows? Ooh, Max and Midnights will actually win.
That'd be a miracle if Max and Midnights win. Like, if it does win, we're going to celebrate Max and Midnights. We're going to binge watch it.
I think if anything, if it's not SpongeBob this year that wins, then we're all going to celebrate no matter what. So.
Yes. Let's go. Anything but SpongeBob. Let's go.
So, vote Loud House, guys. I don't know if voting lines are still open, but I know the show's coming up in 2 weeks, so...
Vote Loud House.
Yeah, vote Loud House, guys. All right. Okay, that's pretty much it for our Crunchyroll Anime Awards. The next award show we're going to be talking about is KCA, so we'll put that in another episode coming up. All right, last but not least, let's talk about our main subject tonight, and that is the announcements that happened over last weekend at Netflix's Tadum 2025. I love the fact that they changed it to a big presentation, and by the way, it was viewable for everybody. Like, people who have Netflix can be able to watch the whole thing. So what were your thoughts about that? The fact that, like, this whole big event was going to happen with your biggest franchises of Netflix all coming together to make big announcements, and you can watch it now.
Yeah, I think it was a really relatively smart move of Netflix to present it that way, because that way you could get as much people seeing this award show, because when it comes to big presentations celebrating companies, Netflix Tadum is one of the newer ones.
This is new to me because I think they never have a Tadum show.
They never did. Well, none that I...
Well, they've always had Geek Week, for example. Last year we talked about Geek Week, and they're gonna have another one this year. But that was just more of like, small little announcements that never got presented. Now, out of all places, Netflix does this thing where your biggest franchises, your biggest favorite franchises, all get presented and talk about the future of what's gonna be happening for those franchises to say.
Yeah, which makes us very excited for them, and I think that it was a relatively clever move of Netflix to go from Geek Week to Tadum.
No. Geek Week is still happening. This is a different event.
Okay, like I do like the Tadum, title because, well, it's the sound of Netflix's intro.
Yeah,
Netflix's intro.
I do love the fact that Sophia Carlson, who was the host of the whole Tadum event, literally said, "We're not going to start the show without hearing the Tadum sound."
And would you know it? You actually heard it.
What? Yeah. She presented it, yes.
And speaking of Sophia Carlson, she was an excellent host.
She was a great host, and by the way, if you don't know Sophia Carlson, she was from the Descendants movies. So she's now grown up out of Disney Channel, now into Netflix, by the way, so...
Descendants was a great start for her in her acting career, and it's nice to see that she's moved on to much bigger, more grown-up stuff.
Well, I mean, look, they're getting older. Look, Peyton List, remember she was on Disney Channel before, it's Jessie.
And now she's in
Cobra Kai.
Yes.
And she also was there too, by the way. I don't know if you saw that. She was in there.
I saw that when she was presenting Stranger Things.
That's right, yeah.
And I was like, yes, she's my favorite Cobra Kai kid, by the way.
By the way, like, I thought we're not going to have a Cobra Kai announcement, obviously, just because Cobra Kai ended, so...
Yeah, but it's nice to see some Cobra Kai love from that Peyton List announcement.
Yeah, so if anything, that's cool that Disney Channel stars are now moving to Netflix, which is great. I don't know what's going on. I'm just telling you, Netflix is starting to change a little bit here.
Yeah. Yeah, Netflix is definitely... They go from Disney Channel to Netflix.
Well,
It's
it's more of like, remember we continue to criticize Netflix for doing this and that, but now look at it now. It's starting to actually make a comeback.
Yeah, Netflix, you could say, is Disney Channel stars going from caterpillars to butterflies.
I'm not talking specifically about KCH. I'm talking about the whole entire streaming service.
The entire streaming service.
Like the whole content that Netflix has now.
Netflix has their controversies, ups and downs, but it's nice to know that they're bigger and better than ever before.
Well, yeah. After all the things that we've talked about before, I remember that.
Yeah, remember when we were kind of like ranting about Netflix's
animated shows? Yes.
Yeah,
now it's kind of like you're kind of looking at the whole direction of like what they're going through right now, right? It's more towards live action stuff, and to be fair, the live action stuff are doing great.
Yeah, I will say that if you're solely an animation fan, you will still be a bit miffed about Netflix due to its cancellations, and rightfully so. But if you're a fan of
although to be fair, the cancellations kind of like dipped a little bit. Again, I don't hear anything about Gentry Child being canceled yet. Okay, so.
But however, if you're a fan of some live action shows like Cobra Kai, Wednesday, Stranger Things, like I am, you will still be very fond of Netflix.
I mean, I'm a fan of One Piece. I'm a fan of what was it? Other big
and
shows. Cobra Kai. Love Is Blind is also a really good show. There's a lot of like good stuff on Netflix. I think some folks are kind of sleeping on, honestly.
Yeah. I was, and especially when you brought up One Piece, I'm just like, yes, that got me into. Well, this.
Yeah, look at you wearing tonight. I think you.
And it's all thanks to Netflix's One Piece that got me into the anime, that got me into the manga, that made me to the One Piece fan I am today. So
okay,
yeah.
But yes, so Netflix's Tadum was the big event that came out last week. They were all in the Kia Forum in Los Angeles, with a lot of fans that were, I think, specifically for one particular subject, because I saw cosplayers everywhere in that audience. Like, there are some audience members that are cosplaying as Wednesday, just the braids and stuff. People dressing up as, somebody from Stranger Things, for example, with the bushy hair guy.
Dustin,
yes.
Yeah.
And then some people are cosplaying One Piece characters. Like, I saw Boa Hancock on Luffy with the straw hat, a freaking, the flower guy or something. Just so many, like, cosplayers. I'm like, okay, I can understand what the audience was going for today.
Yeah, when you look at these cosplayers, you would think that they must have gone to a convention if you didn't see them there in the actual event. But no, this was an actual Netflix, pop culture event and celebration that they have been hyping themselves up for.
Again, the audience in LA, I saw you weebs. You're a bunch of weebs of One Piece here.
Yeah, but we know that it's for a different kind of event.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, One Piece fans undoubtedly love it, so they have to represent their pride. You can see that right in the audience, like, cosplayers out there, like, with the straw hats and everything.
The cosplayers did a fantastic job with their costumes.
Indeed, yeah. So that's thing I want to point out from Netflix. But anyway, let's go ahead and go to the announcement. There was a lot of big announcements that happened during Netflix's Tadum. The first one that I want to talk about is Squid Game. Finally, the Squid Game season 3 or part 3, as it ends. This is going to be the final part for Squid Game. Have you seen all of Squid Game, and how excited are you for the third season?
I'm all caught up on Squid Game, and I will say season 1 is very strong. Season 2, not quite as strong. There are some strong elements, but I feel like season 1 was better.
Why it's not as strong, right? Because it's a two-parter.
It is a two-parter, but even with season 2, I find myself questioning, okay, why are you taking that direction, this direction? But I think that season 3 is going to make all these answers more clear, or it's going to fill in it's going to pretty much make a lot of things in season 2 make sense.
Yeah. Well, the way I've kind of saw the promotions for Squid Game, I do love the whole presentation, by the way. You get to see, like, all the people in the pink suits just marching around. They were doing some sort of dance. And you get to see the 2 stars of Squid Game also presenting the whole, trailer that they have for season 3.
Yeah, they definitely put a big emphasis on Squid Game, because Squid Game is one of the most popular Netflix shows out there, and it's the biggest K-drama in terms of popularity.
Yeah, and honestly, like, it has its own fans. Like, you've seen so many people wearing those green jumpsuits, having those numbers, and then having this, like, new game that they're always going through with the whole carnival game that was happening in season 2. The red light, green light girl is also there as well. And it kind of also makes me think, like, when you look at the whole poster for season 3, the girl from the Red Light Green Light is there, and then there's some other big statue character as well. Yeah. Is that a new game, or is that is that leading up to something in season 3?
I feel like it's going to go one of two directions. One, it's going to show brand new contestants playing the same old games.
Well, remember, some contestants already died, so...
No, but I feel like the Pink Soldiers are going to bring in brand new contestants into it.
That's going to be weird... No, I don't know about that, because remember, they started up with 100 people, or like 500-something people... Oh, sorry, 456 people.
Okay, that is true. Plus...
and nobody came in, in the first season. Nobody started coming in.
Plus, they wouldn't bring in brand new contestants.
No, I don't think so. Look, there were, how many members left after season 2?
Yeah, there are...
How many people were left after season 2? 100-something?
There were much less people because, well, most of them are dead, but there are some that are still alive.
Yes, and at the moment right now, those people are trying to break the system right now, you know?
And also, I think it go... Okay, another direction that it could go is that it could continue with the arc of season 2. Obviously going to continue with the arc, but I'm wondering... because we've seen the other characters of the side stories. I'm wondering when it's going to all come together. It's not a matter of if, it's when.
It will, but you can just know how it's going to end. 456, he's going to be the one that is going to lead everybody to break the system and end the Squid Game.
Either that or... Well, I mean, we don't want to give away too much spoilers here, but it could end up with the main protagonist coming out heroically or dying a tragic death.
I don't. Again, that's too much to predict, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it from the way I'm seeing season 3. Again, there are going to be other games that are going to be coming out. I think newer games are going to be coming in for Squid Game. More people are going to die, obviously, but who's going to die, we don't know. Yeah. But 456 is the main character. I believe he's the one who is going to pretty much try to break the Squid Game.
One thing I respect season 2 for doing is that it incorporates newer games into the season.
Look, it can't just be the same old cookie game or the marble game or the...
That's what I like about it.
Or the red light, green light game, okay?
It's that it's not the exact same games, which I do like. Because if you make it the same old games, it would just make it more stale. So I like that they're mixing up a bit.
Yeah, which is fine. I like that. Who knows what other new games are going to be coming in for Squid Game 3, but it is leading up to a conclusion. Mm-hmm. Do you feel bad that it's going to end?
I feel like three seasons are enough. I feel like... I don't want Squid Game to keep on milking it, season after season after season. Don't do that. I think 3 seasons are enough, in my opinion.
How many seasons did Cobra Kai go through? 6?
Cobra Kai went through 6, but they pull it off really excellently. But I'm saying that there's
because I'm trying to compare how Cobra Kai was to Squid Game, because Cobra Kai continued to be good. Yeah, and Squid Game is continuing to be good, but I just feel like 3 is enough. You don't need to continue to just go on and on.
The thing with Cobra Kai is that there was a purpose behind the show being 6 seasons long, whereas with Squid Game, I feel like since they ended the 3rd season, they're not milking.
Well,
it.
If they're ever gonna do another one, they're probably gonna have more new contestants and a new K-pop star coming in.
Or I feel like if they're going to make another Squid Game series or another Squid Games media work, I feel like it's going to be I want a Squid Game spin-off show where it stars the Pink Soldiers. How did the Pink Soldiers come to be?
That's a good question, actually. How did they create Squid Game?
Yeah.
That'd be something.
I want them to make a Squid Game prequel series.
But we'll see. If the Squid Game continues to be so popular, they might make one. Who knows? Yeah. Netflix, you have a lot of money. You'll know what to do. But June 27th is the start of season 3 of Squid Game. It is the final season of Squid Game. Glad to see that the Squid Game hype continues on. And can't wait to see Squid Game. All right, next up, if you haven't watched Knives Out, you'll not know about this, but Knives Out has had 2 movies already come out, and now a 3rd movie is coming out called Wake Up Dead Man. So Wake Up Dead Man is a new movie based off the Knives Out series. Features the star Daniel Craig, but this time around we actually do have new characters in this one.
Yeah, so each of these Knives Out movies, they all star Daniel Craig as Ben Noyd Blanc, but each of them have different cast of actors. So
this starts off in the church. So again, it's kind of like what they did in Knives Out before. Like, what was it? Lenoy Blanc continues to be the investigator out there. Needs to figure out who killed who.
Yeah.
But this time around, like from the way I saw how the presentation went, I don't know if you saw that whole presentation, but like it was the director who said, "That's when you're wrong," duh, duh, duh. And then every star started to pop up. So like you get to see, what was it? Josh Brolin go, "That's when you're wrong," duh, 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 you know. You say Josh Brolin first, then you see the Josh O'Connor come out, and Mila Kunis is also starring in this one. Kerry Washington is in this. Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, is gonna be in this, and Glenn Close is in this.
And Thomas Hayden Church, who was Sandman.
Okay, yeah. Look, there's just so many great people.
So we got prominent actors.
Yeah, but this is a huge like movie. But these actors, what is this?
Yeah, so the Knives Out movies are some of the best mystery movies I've seen because of how they give so much development to each and every character, and about how each of the mystery aspects in each movie is pulled off by an even greater mystery behind the mystery. So I think that's what makes Knives Out really stand out to me, and it helps that Ryan Johnson is an excellent writer.
Yeah, he's definitely great. The other thing too is like obviously we don't have any clues about it. We just saw like a little sneak peek of what this new movie is going to be about. It's all about a church. We get to see the characters, a little bit of teaser here. So there is no hints about who killed who. We just know that Daniel Craig again leads the whole group, and it's up to us to figure out who killed who.
And that's our job as moviegoers, is to speculate, is to guess, is to think about who might have killed who, and what are the motivations.
Again, it's just clever from the director who did this, so I think this just was awesome. You saw the previous two Knives Out movies?
I saw the previous two Knives Out movies, and I adored them.
Yeah. I'm kind of wondering if Glenn Close is the killer. It'd be funny, out of all people.
I mean, it'd be funny given how, well, she did play as Cruella de Vil, so it would make sense.
Yeah, there's that too. I remember also like when the whole presentation, she was like driving her way over to the Netflix, to the Kia Forum for the whole event. And she keep on saying like motherfuckers. I'm like, what the fuck? Other places she actually says them.
Glenn Close still has that craziness. I like that. Glenn Close still has that craziness.
All right. So if you are a big Knives Out fan, the third movie of Knives Out is coming out on December 12th. Wake Up Dead Man will come on December 12th, 2025.
Yes, let's go.
And now I think some of y'all were gonna be talking about this one. Some of y'all are waiting for this one, but yes. After this presentation was the One Piece presentation.
Yes.
Woo! One Piece.
One Piece.
All right. So obviously One Piece, look, it's been a while since the first season came out. 2023, right? Was when season 1 came out? Or 2024.
I believe it was 2023.
Yeah, 2023. So it's been 2 years since One Piece has been working on that season 2. Yes, season 2 has now started to come out. We have had some news here and there about who is doing what arc it's gonna go through, but we now have the main 5 right there. We have Usopp, we have Sanji, we have Zoro, we have Nami, and we have Luffy. All 5 of them are currently on the crew right now. But the biggest surprise that came out of this presentation was the fact that the 6th member, Chopper, will be hopping on. And we actually do have the picture of Chopper. Chopper!
Yes. Drum Island, Drum Island, Drum Island.
Okay, so what are your thoughts about the design of Chopper?
Chopper looks so cute. They really did nail the character design of Chopper down to a T. He never feels uncanny. He never looks unfinished. You could tell that they definitely rendered him very well. It's definitely
okay.
Yeah.
So CGI looks great. He is the shy little doctor.
And they nailed the personality down to a T.
Well, yeah. I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is like, I love the fact that like, out of all things, Chopper ends up being shy. He's literally like behind a pillar, and he announces the fact that One Piece is coming out in 2026. Ooh.
It's coming out in 2026. So. Make that 3 years.
Another year longer. Oh man.
So it's a total of a 3-year span in between seasons.
So we've heard some cast announcements already for the One Piece live action, and now we get to see the design of Chopper. who's going to be voiced by Michaela Hoover, by the way.
Yeah, and I'm going to say Michaela Hoover really does capture the authenticity of Chopper's voice.
She's going to be in the new Superman movie, you know that?
She's going to be in the next Superman movie, so she's got a lot of work covered for her.
Yeah, so there's Superman, and then she's now going to be Chopper. And, you know, it's going to be probably a great thing for her to, you know, be a part of voicing Chopper and everything. She's got a lot of roles coming up real soon.
Yeah, and I could tell that between One Piece and Superman, like, her stardom is going to grow exponentially.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. But yes, 2026 is going to be a while since another big announcement is going to happen for One Piece live action series. But yes, we at least get the first look at Chopper. Well, it looks great, by the way. Again, no judgments here. I think Chopper got designed really well.
No judgments except good judgments. Like we judge.
Yeah, I'm not judging it. Well, I'm just saying, like, it's a really good design for Chopper. It absolutely looks like the animal that Chopper is in the One Piece anime. So
absolutely, all the way down to the fur.
Yeah. So yes, Chopper. We miss you. We can't wait to see you in 2026.
Chopper, you precious
as
thing.
One Piece continues to work on their way for the new season to come out in 2026. So
Chopper, you precious little thing.
All right, let's roll here for a little bit. Let's continue with the announcements happening here. Let's go to Frankenstein, which is made by Guillermo del Toro. All right, so I mean, obviously the classic Frankenstein is out there. This one's a little bit different. It kind of feels more medieval. You think?
It does, and I'm gonna say when it comes to making a brand new Frankenstein movie, you could not have brought aboard a more perfect director and writer than Guillermo del Toro.
Well,
Guillermo del Toro was a perfect.
Well, Guillermo del Toro does do some dark stuff there, you know.
He does dark stuff, and as well as what he does is that he gives so much depth and humanization to even monsters and creatures. Look at Shape of Water and look at Pinocchio, for example.
Pinocchio, for sure. I mean, that's the last project that he worked on, also.
Yeah, and it was excellent. So that's why I have full confidence that Guillermo del Toro will get this movie right.
I think he'll do a pretty good job with it. Again, the trailer did come out during the presentation of Tadum. It definitely looked very different than the Frankenstein that we know in those classic horror films.
Yeah, in those classic horror films, you obviously see Frankenstein as the big green monster, like,
Yeah, but he's like in a robe, stabbing people now, like a very versatile, alive guy now.
The way I look at Frankenstein is that they're going in a much more different direction with this monster creature. Like, they're actually giving so much depth and character to the Frankenstein monster, similar to how Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman starring as Dracula, that actually gave depth and so much development to the monster Dracula. Same thing with this.
I just remember seeing Frankenstein as alive, and he was on a boat, like literally starting killing people. So this is such a different twist of who Frankenstein is, because you just see him as the green monster, going, and having those things in his neck and all. Mm-hmm. The cast, by the way, I am impressed with, because you have Oscar Isaac as the main guy who's not going to say he's alive or anything like that. He's literally the one making Frankenstein. I remember seeing him in the trailer. He was going up to the tower, putting some sort of metal rod on top, just to have Frankenstein stay alive and all.
Yeah, so you got Moon Knight as the one who created Frankenstein the monster.
Okay.
He's alive.
Okay.
Oscar Isaac is a powerful actor, by the way. If you've seen him in Moon Knight, if you've seen him in several projects, Oscar Isaac is actually quite a capable actor. So I have confidence he pull off as well.
Also, Christoph Waltz is also a part of the cast. I'm wondering how he'll get involved in this movie.
Christoph Waltz, I've seen Christoph Waltz pull off some amazing villainous roles, i.e. Inglourious Bastards. So no matter what type of role Christoph Waltz will play, I have confidence he'll pull off.
I'm pretty sure it's not even going to be a funny one. It's just going to be epic. So wonder how he'll go. But yes, this looks to be interesting. So Frankenstein fans, there's a new Frankenstein in town, and that's Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. That's coming out in November.
Yeah, so
it's not in theaters, by the way.
We've seen Guillermo del Toro. It's coming out in Netflix. It's coming on Netflix, yeah. So I would say that we've seen Guillermo del Toro pull off Pinocchio. We've seen him pull off all kinds of amazing creatures. He'll pull off Frankenstein as well.
I think he'll do a pretty good job with it. We'll go quickly on this next news for Happy Gilmore 2. Happy Gilmore. Oh man, this is quite a funny one. It's been a while since the 1990s since we heard about Happy Gilmore. Let's talk about this one guy who's very angry, and he played off with Bob Barker in the first one, and I don't know who he's gonna play off in the second one. But I love the fact that like there's so many stars that know him. I don't know if you saw that trailer, but I remember seeing Serena Williams. Was it some professional golfers getting recognition for Happy Gilmore?
You see professional athletes of all kinds giving praise to Happy Gilmore himself.
Yeah,
and it's pretty funny because when you see that entire part of star athletes talking about this one guy, you never thought it would be Happy Gilmore. So I like how it sort of like subverts your expectations.
Yeah. Some old stars are coming back from Happy Gilmore, including Adam Sandler, obviously. They even have John Voight. I think he's also going to be in it as well. Again, like a bunch of stars from the old series, from the old movie coming in. I don't know if you saw the trailer, but it's funny. It was so funny to see. Happy Gilmore is coming out. What was it? July 2025. So
it is coming out now. I haven't seen much of Happy Gilmore, but I do know that it is a Happy Madison classic. And
of course, that's where Happy Madison started with Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to Happy Madison movies, I start off with Big Daddy. Most people have started with Happy Gilmore, so it's a real treat for them to see an upcoming sequel years later.
Either way, I think some fans are gonna love it. I definitely will be watching Happy Gilmore too. It definitely feels like a funny movie to check out. So there's that.
I feel like I need to watch the first movie before I watch the second.
I'll watch the first movie first. Yeah, so you can understand what's going on with Happy Gilmore too. And then next one up. I think some of you fans are probably waiting for this for a while, but let's talk about Stranger Things. Let's talk about Stranger Things for a second here. So this was kind of crazy how they presented it to them because it had a couple of the kids come up onto the presentation stage. They were like they were watching in front of a TV with like tapes and stuff about their old times behind the scenes making Stranger Things.
I saw that, and it was nice to see them give such tribute to Stranger Things by having, well, first off, in the presentation we see the actors like Finn Wolfhard, the actors of Mike and Dustin, talk about their time filming, and I remember they were talking about the very first scene of Stranger Things, how they filmed it. Mm-hmm. It was nice to see.
Also, they were like little kids back then too. Remember, like season 1, season 2, they were like what, 10, 11 years old.
Yeah, and look how much they've grown now.
Oh, they're grown up now, like 18, 19 years old. They're like probably in college by now. But remember, like in Stranger Things 5, they're still younger, from the way I'm seeing it at the moment.
Yeah, with season 5, like they are still young because like they haven't fully grown into adults just yet. They're still young, but you could tell that they're at the age where they're reaching maturity.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Stranger Things 5 is going to be the final season of Stranger Things. We don't know how the whole conclusion is going to be, but I would imagine there'll probably be more monsters that will be coming out, more creatures that you'll probably will not be able to know about. No. This is a little different for Stranger Things because they're releasing it all in 3 parts. First part will be coming out on November 26th near Thanksgiving. Volume 2 will be coming out on Christmas Day, and Volume 3 will be coming out on New Year's Eve. It kind of feels the same way like we did with Arcane.
It kind of does, but in a way, I sort of have mixed feelings on releasing it on these holiday dates because they may not get a chance to see it on that day because they're spending time with their families.
There's that, but also at the same time, I would not be surprised if like families start coming over and just like sit down on the couch, watch Stranger Things. I think that would be a little bit scary, honestly, especially when it comes to a joyous occasion.
Exactly. Especially Christmas. Christmas is the most joyous.
You're on Christmas Day, and who knows? There might be a Christmas episode of Stranger Things. Who knows? like Christmas time, Christmas episode. Here we go. Scary moment. Ah!
Speaking of which, I think that it would be a clever move if they did this because Stranger Things Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3 might revolve around, that entire universe having those holidays as well. Like Volume 1 takes place around Thanksgiving in Stranger Things.
That could be why they're probably doing that.
And I'm saying that would definitely justify and explain why that.
So it kind of reminds me how Volume 2 will come out on Christmas Day. So like, what, 4 episodes will talk about Christmas. And then Volume 3 will come out. First episode will be New Year's Day, and then the rest will just be the day after New Year's Day, and then they defeat a monster.
Watch the very last line of Stranger Things, like the entire series, be Happy New Year.
Oh God, no.
I'm gonna say this.
Oh no, it'll be a firework of a monster coming up in space. Oh, a firework! Woo! A celebration.
But regarding all that, I'm very excited to see all these Stranger Things characters come back, because it's been years since I've seen the last season. So it's nice that we're seeing the show return, because we really do like these characters. We want to see them survive all supernatural shenanigans. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Have you seen the trailer, by the way, for it? Oh my God. The run part scared the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Run!
Like, Stranger Things definitely does an excellent job making you, the audience, terrified.
I mean, I was already terrified at season 1. I mean, it tells you, like, watch out. There's a thrilling moment happening, you know, stay on the edge of your seat, because you're thinking like, oh, they'll pick up something, and then some monster just starts swiping it away. Oh no, what the fuck?
It captures the horror elements well, and what I like about Stranger Things is that it goes in depth as to why these horror or supernatural things happen in the first place. Yeah. There's always a science to it.
I mean, there's a whole nother world or something. You can get to see the skies turn red, and I'm like, oh, here we go.
The other world.
Yeah, the other world. You just see, like, oh, God, skies turn red, and everybody's there, and everyone's scared for themselves. Like, you can understand why, like, I know it's supposed to be a thriller horror, like, series, but, like, it still engaged me a whole lot. I love, like, how things start to come together with the stories that come in Stranger Things.
The best way I could describe Stranger Things is that it is a total love letter to Stephen King novels and 1980s Steven Spielberg movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Stranger Things feels like a love letter to those types of media.
So how excited are you for this final season?
Very excited. I've been a fan of Stranger Things for a while. I'm all caught up on the show. How about you? How much Stranger Things have you seen?
I've only caught up to like season 2, season 3, so I'm not completely done with the show yet. But again, there's been times where I'm kind of like, I don't want to see the next episode because I know what's gonna happen next.
It's one of those things. It's one of those shows you have to be in the mood to see. Like, if you're prepared for the scary elements.
Well, I'm wondering if you're like watching it like with a dim light or something like that. Like, you're in the dark watching Stranger Things. Oh God, it's gonna be hella scary or something.
Keep the light on when watching Stranger Things, unless you want nightmares. I'll just say
it got me shocked a little bit here and there. I'm just saying, like, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the upset stomach people, you know.
Exactly, which makes it all the more strange that they would release it on joyous holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's.
I don't know what their strategy is, but again, look what they did before. Look what they did with Cobra Kai. They did it through volumes as well. And they did Arcane with volumes as well. So I'm assuming when it comes to the best franchises, they will have to do it this way as like a send-off, you know, to say, hey, we have all the episodes for you, but we want to make sure you are entertained. So here's the first batch, here's the second batch, here's the third batch.
Okay, I do see what they're going for, and we'll have to be on the lookout for more information later on in terms of the plot of these episodes. Yeah, I'm excited for this.
Well, I mean, the plot is, I don't know how the plot is going to go, but I'm assuming it's pretty much the finale where they're going to take down the other world, you know?
Oh, it's going to all build up to this one big finale of humans versus monsters.
Mm-hmm. All right. Stranger Things 5 is coming out on November 26th. So pretty much throughout the holiday season. So if you're a big fan of Stranger Things, you can't miss on this finale. You're probably going to love it as much as we are.
Yeah, so get your holidays ready and get yourself ready for some spooky show.
Last but not least, we have one more announcement to bring up from the Netflix's Tudum event, and that is about Wednesday. The family of what's the Addams family? Yep. Yeah. So, in the presentation, we get to see the stars of Wednesday, the Addams family with the mom and dad, with Fred Armisen, who's also there as well, and what was it, Jenna Ortega, who's also there too.
So you get to see the cast together, and yeah, they're coming to present their big second season.
Yeah, so second season, we've already heard announcements that are going to make a second season. The thing is, like, there's not much details that come for second season. But from this presentation, we get to see that they gave out a 6-minute clip, which honestly kind of tells me like how the tone is going to be, because it had Wednesday, it had this creepy guy, and Wednesday, and it feels like Wednesday's trying to handle her own problems. That's the way I'm seeing it.
It had this crazy serial killer played excellently by Haley Joel Osment.
Wow, the guy who was in Kingdom Hearts.
The guy
who plays Sora.
I was about to say the guy who was in the Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense, but Sora.
Yeah.
Sora.
But yeah, who would have thought that Haley Joel Osment would pull off such a creepy killer?
He's a creepy killer. Like, I didn't know that was Haley Joel Osment, honestly, because like he's big, he's like creepy.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's the eyes that don't give out killer vibes.
No, I mean I didn't expect it to be Haley Joel Osment, honestly. I was like, whoa, okay.
But he manages to catch up. He catches us off guard while also catching Wednesday off guard by kidnapping her.
So I saw the whole scene too, where like 6 weeks earlier, Wednesday's trying to figure out her own powers. So she's trying to like be a psychic herself. Reminds me of Lucy Loud, honestly.
Sigh.
Yeah. Then she tried to take care of this Kansas City killer that she was doing a presentation with when she was a kid. It looked like he was still on the loose. So she did her own psychic power. She even tried to go through an airport with all the weapons that she had.
And she brought the Thing with her.
Oh yeah, of course. Thing will have to be supportive.
Thing like Thing is such a handy companion to have.
Yeah.
It's just,
Also, another thing too is like, how did she end up getting bloody eyes? Like, she did something with the guy, and then she ended up getting bloody eyes. And I'm like, what happened?
I think it's something that the second season will explain. Will go.
Well, I'm assuming it's probably like like something that happened when she was doing psychic powers or something. Because like she ended up getting caught. She was pretty much tied up. Who knows how she got out? That was the whole entire clip, though.
Yeah, it's. I think it's gonna all come down to psychic powers. Yeah. Because as we all know, Netflix shows do a good job portraying psychic powers. Look at Stranger Things, for example.
Yeah, that's true. That one bald-haired girl.
Yeah, 11. Yeah,
11. I do have to say this though, Jenna Ortega, she's becoming a huge star, and I know that she has started since Big City Greens. Man, I mean, as Gabriella when she was back in season 2, season 3, look at her now. She's becoming a huge star, and she's appearing in like many movies and stuff. Like, I'm becoming a big fan of Jenna Ortega. She's awesome. Jenna
Ortega is definitely one of the best new stars to come out in Hollywood, and it's all mainly due thanks to Wednesday. Like, Wednesday is definitely what increased her stardom.
Yeah, it definitely increased her stardom for real. Like, I don't think she was like a well-known person until Wednesday started to come up.
Yeah,
but we remember her first as Gabriella from Big City Greens.
No, when you think Jenna Ortega, even no matter how much big of a fan you are of Big City Greens, the first thing you think of when you hear Jenna Ortega is Wednesday.
Yeah. But I just remember the last time we'll see Gabriella when she turned goth and stuff. And I'm like, man, this is a shout out to her being in Wednesday.
This shows that the Houghton brothers are always on point when it comes to modern times.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I know Gabriella's voice did change because Jenna Ortega now moved on to Wednesday. So this is kind of a shout out to say like, hey, if we're going to write off Gabriella's character, this is the way we're going to do it. Like,
they could not have done it in a more perfect
way. Like, because what was it? Spoilers for those who don't know Big City Greens, who haven't been caught up on Big City Greens, but Gabriella and Cricket have broken up. What was it? Gabriella turned goth. And when the way that she kind of looked to really reflected Wednesday, and I'm like, man, you really want to do that, huh, Houghton brothers?
They were a cute couple. Like Cricket and Gabriella, they were a match made, but sadly, the good times can't live on forever.
Yeah.
Like, what Big City Greens did is that they went and turned Gabriella from Ronnie Ann into Lucy Loud.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much from the way I'm seeing it. Yeah, I could probably like do a good comparison there.
Because Gabriella used to do pranks, she used to be in love with the protagonist, but now she's going full goth. So
yeah, I don't know what happened there, but either way, back to Wednesday though. How excited are you after that clip? Like, how did you like it? Because like back at Wednesday, it was just her in a school or something with Enid. Now it's kind of like more seeing like Wednesday doing her own thing. Like, she'll be at school with Enid for sure, but then she wants to try to tackle her own things, like investigate a murder or investigate this creep, for example.
I feel like, from the way I'm seeing Wednesday season 2, is that it is going to increase the scary and horror aspects of the show tenfold.
I wouldn't say horror, scary aspect like as much as Stranger Things to say. It definitely is an entertaining show. It's not like a horror show or anything.
No, I'm not saying like it's going to be more darker and more gothic.
Yeah, more darker, which is fine. Like, I wasn't scared when I saw that clip, honestly. I was just like, what happened to her? What happened to her?
You saw her getting kidnapped and having her
mouth
muzzled.
She was tied up. And I was like, what happened to her? Like, can you, like, we can't get an explanation until the season comes out, but like, what?
I think it's going to give in depth into, well, of course, Wednesday, but I think I want to see more character development with the serial killer. How did he get to be so crazy?
Oh, dude, he's just a one write-off character. I don't think he's going to be a big thing.
Really? Like, you don't think, like, there might be no. Like, you don't think there'll be a prequel episode dedicated to him?
No, I think this is just Wednesday just doing her own thing. Remember, this is like something that she did was something she was investigating when she was a kid. Remember? She pointed it out when she did a presentation?
Yeah, but I feel like, obviously he's going to be a one-off character, but I want to see
definitely a one-off character to me.
But Wednesday, I want to see Wednesday describe him like in her own way, like present it to the class, like how he got to be.
She did.
No, but more in depth.
No, you're gonna waste an episode, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, because the thing is, like, how your prequel already happened in that clip. The prequel happened in the clip. How did she know about this Kansas City murderer or the Kansas City like doll thing person?
Okay, but like if they're gonna move on from that plot, I'm wondering what's the next plot gonna be. Like, is she gonna other mysteries
that will be known as season 2 comes out. That was just one story. There's more stories coming out. That can't just be the one story that we're going to be talking about Wednesday, okay?
And it's true. I mean, Wednesday season 1 did have more than one plot as well.
I'm just saying, yeah, don't reflect on just one clip. This is not the whole entire story. There's going to be more stories for Wednesday. I would imagine Enid being very much more involved in the show, too.
Yeah, I'm wondering, like, how big of a role Enid will play.
Well, she did play a big role in the first season, so...
Yeah, I want to see her come back to be a supporting friend to Wednesday.
She probably will be. I think that's probably going to be the case here.
I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, again, remember that the show was about Wednesday. Who knows? The Addams family might be involved more. Enid will probably be involved more, but then who knows? There could be other things happening in this Wednesday show. Who knows? Wednesday might have a crush.
Yeah, it could be, but look how that turned out in season 1.
Oh, yeah.
Look how that turned out.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm saying, I think she's going to be much more cautious when it comes to picking boys.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes. But yes, again, I think this got me more excited for Wednesday. When I saw that clip, I'm like, oh, we're going to go through these mysteries now. Okay, this is what got me interested in Wednesday already. Plus, Jenna Ortega is just an amazing actress now. And she does pull off Wednesday so well, honestly.
She really does. And she really does capture the personality. Like, have you seen any of the Addams Family movies or series or anything?
Like the animated movies?
No, like, have you seen any of the Addams Family filmography?
But that was a long time ago, to be fair. Like 2000s or 1990s.
Because there are multiple Addams Family movies.
Yes. I'm just saying, like, this is just a TV show. And plus, by the way, these actors are doing really well as the regular Addams Family that we've known for a long time. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
Yeah, I'm saying this right now because I'm going to see how familiar you are with the Addams Family.
I know them. I mean, I've seen, like, cartoons with them. I've seen the old films also. And even the new animated films, just to be fair, I wasn't a fan of. So
yeah. They're an iconic family, and I feel like... the Netflix show definitely gets the family down to two, especially Wednesday.
Yeah. And again, remember, this is just one character. This is not like Addams Family, where the whole family gets involved.
Yeah, now we've seen the Addams Family in season 1, but they don't have that big a role.
They're not big, yes. It's all about Wednesday and Enid. That was the whole thing about season 1. Season 2 probably would be the same thing. But I will imagine there will be more on Wednesday than Enid and the family, to say.
Yeah, whether or not the Addams Family will play a bigger role than they did in season 1, that's to be determined.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see you make a comment.
I don't know. We'll see. But either way, like, the whole cast was there in Tudum, and they looked like they were excited for everybody. Even the whole audience was also excited as well.
Yeah, because Wednesday is one of those hype shows, so of course you would expect the Wednesday fandom, just like fans of good TV shows, to be hyped up for this, because season 1 was really stellar.
Indeed. Hold on, we got one more thing. All right, so we also do have to say that even if they had that whole 6-minute clip, they also did have one more big announcement that they had for Wednesday. And the fact that, they had a big announcement for Wednesday, and the announcement was that there's going to be a big guest star that's going to be in Wednesday. And you're kind of thinking like, who would be that person that would be dark, that would be so mysterious, that would like be really blending in with what the characters are in Wednesday, right? I didn't expect this at all, but people I think kind of were prepared for this because they were there at Tudum and kind of heard about they heard the clues and everything. But Lady Gaga is going to be in Wednesday.
Yes, Lady Gaga is going to be in the cast, which is something we didn't expect because she's more of a music artist more than an actress. But we've seen Lady Gaga pull off some stellar performances as well in movies such as Star is Born, for example.
To be fair, and honestly, like, I understand why Lady Gaga just got these roles because she has ended her residency in Vegas now. So Lady Gaga's now out of Vegas. She can do whatever she wants. There's a reason why she has a brand new album out. She's touring again. And why not be a part of a TV show?
Especially a hit TV show like Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. And, I find it interesting because, like, the way that Lady Gaga continues to, like, make dresses, like, dress up and stuff like that kind of relative to like what Wednesday is, like, gothic, red, weird, like kind of really craftful and stuff like that.
That's what I like about Lady Gaga's dress styles. Lady Gaga's dresses always stand out as being unique, always stand out as being creative, always blending in with whatever themes they're presenting.
Yeah, and I think it's suitable for Lady Gaga to be a part of it. And the question now is, who is she going to be in the show? Some random like passerby, a villain, somebody in the school.
Yeah, it leaves us guessing. We know Lady Gaga's gonna be playing a role, but the question is what type of role.
Yeah. Also, I can imagine a musical number from her. I mean, she's a singer. There has to be some sort of musical number in an episode where she's just going to sing right in front of Wednesday.
As if it wasn't evident enough from the performance we've seen in Netflix Tudum.
Oh, God. Let's talk about the performance, by the way. Like, that was amazing. Like, I think everybody knew when Lady Gaga was announced that there was going to be that was the performance that they were going to see at the end of Tudum. So you get to see Lady Gaga do her own thing, like get out of a casket, sing songs,
Zombie Boy and Abracadabra.
Makes sense for those two songs.
Yeah.
Zombie Boy. Oh, zombies. Yes, Adam's family. There's zombies here.
And it all incorporates into the spooky atmosphere and fitting environment for presenting Wednesday, since it's all dark, spooky, and gothic.
Yeah. And the songs make sense. Abracadabra, magic. Zombie Boy, zombies. You probably see like some dark realms there.
And the cherry on top is Jenna Ortega coming on stage.
I did not know about that because I just also realized too when they aired the 6-minute clip, Jenna was gone. I'm like, Jenna, where did you go?
And then she just popped back.
And she popped back up because like the other Wednesday dancers were dancing, and then Jenna came out of nowhere just walking up to the table.
I know.
And then you saw Lady Gaga just come up to the table performing Abracadabra.
And man, she pulled it off flawlessly.
And I thought Jenna was actually going to dance too, but no, she got walked off the stage.
Yeah, she was just like walking. That's it. But all in all, despite that, that whole performance was engaging from beginning to end.
It was fire for sure. I'm a fan of Lady Gaga, and Abracadabra kind of reminded me of like Bad Romance. I don't know if you know about the song Bad Romance. It kind of had the same realms of.
It had the same rhythm and beats.
Yeah, because you had like abracadabra, abracadabra.
Rah, rah, rah.
Exactly. Yeah, see, like that.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I love how Lady Gaga like is creative with her music. Now she's gonna be a part of Wednesday again. We don't know her role yet, but I get to be more excited the fact that we get to see a big star like Lady Gaga be a part of this show. Like, who else could pop up at Wednesday now? You got Lady Gaga. Who's next?
Yeah, I think they're gonna come up with more surprise casting announcements in the future.
Yeah, and either way, I'm excited for Wednesday. That comes out on September 3rd, by the way.
September 3rd, yes. Just in time for early fall.
Part 1 comes out on August 6th. Part 2 comes out September 3rd. So at the end of summer, you'll be watching Wednesday as much as I am. So
yes. So yeah, keep your eyes out because it's split into 2 parts, and make sure you just keep track with the show because it really is stellar.
So that was pretty much the whole presentation of Tadum. Omid, what was your favorite moments from Netflix's Tadum?
Oh, my favorite moments were, I think Lady Gaga's performance is number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Like
undoubtedly, for sure.
Like, undoubtedly. And Another one of my favorite moments is that whole thing with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Oh yeah, talk about that. What about that one?
That entire scene with them interacting with Cookie Monster was comedy gold.
Now, to be fair, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, when they came in, they were only talking about this brand new action flick that they're going to be a part of called The Rip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so they brought in other actors,
especially Steven Yeun. Steven Yeun a part of this one?
Steven Yeun is part of it, believe it or not.
Yeah, I'm surprised about that too. I'm like, whoa.
And they all come in to hype up the movie, but I think it's just, something about me seeing Ben Affleck and Matt Damon together side by side just warms my heart, especially since they were the co-screenwriters for one of my favorite movies, Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting, yes.
Yes, and I don't know. It's just like my favorite part with them together in Netflix Tudum is not so much the rip part, but it's just the Cookie Monster scene. Okay. That was adorable.
Okay. I do want to give a shout out to wrestling fans out there. If you haven't noticed, Monday Night Raw is now on Netflix, and they actually did bring out some of the well-known wrestlers from WWE Raw. They had LA Knight. Sorry, not LA Knight. They had CM Punk. They had what was it? The New Day. The New Day was also a part of that as well. Plus a couple of the characters like Dominic Mysterio was a part of there. Even Rhea Ripley was in there as well. Honestly, I'm getting back into WWE. Honestly, it's actually starting to be a fun show. Everybody's hating John Cena for some reason now. But to be fair, I'm a fan of John Cena, and you all can hate me. Okay? He turned heel. He became evil. He became a villain. And I enjoy it.
I mean, I only enjoy John Cena for Peacemaker. I'm a fan of Peacemaker, but when it comes to...
So WWE is actually making this whole run for John Cena the last run for him, because he is probably going to be retiring into movies and stuff. So he's going to retire into WWE, but at the moment right now, he currently has the undisputed WWE Championship, and other wrestlers are trying to take him off. But it's hard right now because the other wrestlers cannot win for some reason.
Really?
Was it Cody? Sorry, not Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes lost to John Cena. It was what's the name? RKO. I forgot his name. Sorry, Randy Orton. Randy Orton was going to go up against John Cena for the title, and then he lost.
I see.
And at the moment right now, nobody is trying to challenge him for the title at the moment. So
I see.
He's currently reigning, but there is a deadline, by the way. There is a deadline for John Cena to give up that bells, and that's like in November, December. So that's what makes this fun to watch now.
Really? So you're a wrestling fan now?
I kind of liking the storylines. I'm not really a fan. I'm just liking the storylines that they're doing in WWE.
I see.
Yeah. But remember, it's all fake, by the way. It's just the story. They only care about the story in WWE.
I see.
Monday Night Raw is on Netflix as the reason why wrestlers came out into Tudum just to promote it.
Okay, so wrestling fans are getting treated to Netflix Tudum as well.
Yes, nice. that was the thing about it, because I would imagine some fans who are probably on the audience saying like, what was it? CM Punk. You know?
I see.
Yeah. So there's that. I don't know what other else things that are there. Happy Gilmore 2, we already said. Sophia Carson, really great host.
There's also the part I mentioned about the actors of Stranger Things reminiscing upon the first episode.
Oh, so that was one of your favorite parts too?
That was one of my favorite parts as well.
One Piece, undoubtedly. I love the whole presentation. I know it's just to rally the fans, but obviously the biggest announcement was Chopper.
Live action Chopper, definitely up there as well, yes.
Wednesday, I'm a huge fan of. I can't wait for Stranger Things 5. Undoubtedly one of the big ones there too. And I think that's all. Again, Knives Out was okay. Happy Gilmore, a little bit decent. But again, of course, Squid Game 3. I mean, yeah, can't wait for that one too.
Yeah, and the fact that it's a part 2 to season 2's part 1, and the fact that it says final season, which we see aren't milking anymore, that's good. They know when to end it.
I guess that's all we could say about Netflix's Tadum. I can't wait for next year's Tadum, and who knows, we might actually want to be there for that. If it's gonna be in LA again, we might want to be there for that.
Tadum. And
who knows, we might cosplay as One Piece characters.
Could be, but yeah, Netflix's Tadum definitely looks to be a brand new event to get yourself hyped for, especially those that are subscribed to Netflix. So yeah, I'm glad that Netflix Tudum is starting
this leads me to the question, is Netflix getting better?
I will say that in terms of the live action stuff, I would say yes. But in terms of, how they handle the animated shows, they still have a long way to go.
That's on a whole different realm. But the shows that they're currently working on in Netflix are absolutely astounding. There are some underdogs that I'm missing out on here and there, and that makes me think like, hey, maybe I should actually watch Netflix a little bit more,
No company is perfect. No streaming service is perfect. But the stuff that Netflix does that's really good are top notch.
Yes, so it is one of the top streaming platforms out there, and there's a reason why. Like, it is as comparable as Disney Plus, but at Netflix, undoubtedly, like, they're very creative. They know what they're doing. I just feel like they're going on a good run right now. Again, animation is a different story, but who knows what will happen next? Again, once we see Geek Week this summer, we'll see what other big announcements happens, because that's where the animation stuff happens.
Yeah. So, and we're going to be talking about those as well.
Yeah, Geek Week will come out real soon. It might be a little bit short considering that it's not as big like Tadum was, but yeah, it all depends on how things go. But anyways, that's pretty much our presentation tonight. That's our episode tonight. It was quite an interesting ride going through all of Netflix and everything.
It definitely was, and it was definitely interesting to talk about some of Netflix's greatest hits like Squid Game, Wednesday, and Stranger Things and all that.
Yeah, absolutely great shows that's coming out for Netflix. So if you haven't been subscribing on Netflix at the moment, I think it's the best time to do so. Check your providers, see how much it is per month. I know I'm paying a certain amount per month for ad-free, but honestly, it is worth it right now to watch Netflix anyways. Look, they have the Casa Grandes movie and the Loud House movie, okay? They have Gentry Chow versus the Underworld there too, okay?
Yeah, so they at least still have some animation projects there.
Yeah. So. And they have the SpongeBob movies there, okay? But yes, that's, I think, pretty much our episode tonight. So next week is going to be Annecy Week. Next week is Annecy Week. So the Annecy Festival will be happening in Europe. We'll have full eyes on it, seeing the big announcements that's going to happen from Disney TVA to Nickelodeon to Warner Brothers and et cetera, et cetera. There's a bunch of companies that are going to be announcing animation projects, and we'll be there for it to share the news to you all. For you to actually get caught up on what's going on in Annecy, make sure you guys follow us on our social medias. That is below the screen right there, on our Twitter, on our Blue Sky, and our Instagram. And if you guys love this episode, we always make new episodes every Wednesday. We'll be back on our regular schedule on Wednesday. Hopefully we don't change it to Thursday again.
Yes, no, I don't see us changing it to Thursday because there's no upcoming events or anything like that on Wednesday. So
we'll be back next Wednesday for a new episode of the Anination Podcast. And if you haven't done so, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the bell icon to be notified when will happen next. We'll have we'll talk about Annecy next week, and we'll also have new videos and new shorts coming out in our channel as well.
So yeah, we just want to say thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening what we have to say. And have a great rest of June. Yeah,
make sure you get caught up on the Annecy news. Be on my Twitter. Be on the Twitter so you get to know more about the news and stuff.
Just share, just follow our social medias for some exciting news.
All right. Well, until then, thank you all for checking us out. We'll see you guys on the next one. See you next Wednesday, everybody.
Next Wednesday.
Wednesday. Hey, Wednesday.
See what you did there.
I know, Wednesday. Yeah. January 10th, I mean, Gabrielle, I miss you.
Yeah, sadly, they are no more.